Hey, all doing? Welcome back to another stream. It is the first Monday stream slash Sunday stream evening if you're in America that I feel like I've done in 3 years. This is a massive, massive moment. Like, you know what I'm saying?
These nuts.
Like, this is just a big deal for me. I'm all about celebrating little wins now. Like, I just have to do it. It might seem trivial, but celebrating the little wins is how you reinforce improvement. It's not about being proud that you did the bare minimum. It's about being proud that you changed. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get it? Hold my drink, kid. Thank you for the resub. Thank you for the 5 months. Thank you. I feel like you subscribed last week or something, but I don't even know. But hey,
my little pickle.
we take it. Thank you for the prime. Patty G, 456123. Where have I seen that name? Patty, long time no see. Patty, I was going to ask you, did you sell those packs or did you open the packs? What did you do? I got to know. Patty, thank you for the 18 months of tier 1. Good to have you back. Hope all has been well, King. That's why I messaged you and then I brain faded. I just wanted to know, I'm like, hey, what'd you end up doing with those packs? The ones from Japan. Because they were spicy packs, especially the Galactic's Conquest. Low-key, I wanted to scam you and keep the Galactic's Conquest because I'm missing that one from my Diamond Pearl sets. And I almost got away with it. Almost got away with it too. Almost. I got you. Thank you so much for the 11 months of Prime, you absolute boss. Glad the streams aren't cooked. Yeah, I had a great weekend. Thank you for kicking off the hype train as well. I got you, absolute ledge. And Crimson, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I had a bit of a cooked weekend. Great weekend because it was the little guy's birthday. So a lot of good family fun. And I had another friend's birthday too. Well, his daughter's. So just dad family stuff. But it was really nice. Really nice weekend. But when I came home on Saturday and walked into the room, my PC was on already, which I thought was really weird because I didn't leave it on. I threw it into hibernation, which I often do. I pretty much always just put my PC into sleep. And the fans were like running insane. And I have a screen on my cooler, or had anyway on that cooler. And it's like flashing. Everything is flashing red. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So it turns out there's something wrong with my AIO, which is the all-in-one cooler, which is a liquid cooler, Corsair H150i. And basically it was reporting pump failure, but all my CPU temps were normal. So everything was working, but the cooler was failing to regulate itself and cool accordingly, depending on whether it was under heavy load or whether it was under idle. So Saturday night, I just go through all this troubleshooting, pulling it apart, putting it back together, reseating stuff, left, right, couldn't get it to work. Sunday morning, I try again, and then I had to get ready for the party. We had all the family come over, and then everyone left, and there was enough time to get to a PC store. So I'm like quickly looking up a replacement cooler. It's under warranty, so I replaced it, but like I've started to file the warranty process for it, so I should be fine, but it was just annoying. I don't know if you guys have ever had to, I don't know, has anyone here ever built a PC? When was the last time you guys built a PC? What's up, Dice Collectibles? How you been, man? Dude, you sent me a message in a very depressing period of my life, and I didn't reply to you. But I think about it often, and all I gotta do is just reply to you. But for some reason I can't mentally get there. But hey, I can do it now. I didn't play Melbourne. No, I just skipped it. I wasn't feeling it. Hadn't been playing for ages. Had a lot going on. And then I was like, you know what? I don't need to just fucking play this for no reason. So I stayed home that weekend. It was a good weekend. I felt good. I just couldn't do it. As someone who I like to think I'm extroverted or something, but I mean like introverted, extroverted. Dude, I love it when the fucking coins fall on the screen and there's just money appears. Anonymous tipped $30. Thank you for the tip. I know you're not anonymous, Patty. I know it's you, bro. Unless it's not, in which case that's kind of funny. It's always you, Patty. But anyway, thank you, anonymous. I appreciate the $30 tip. Thank you for the dono. That helps cover the new AIO that I have to fucking buy. Hopefully I get a refund from Corsair, but and I should, but yeah, a random pain in the ass because I had to. I mean, if you guys have ever replaced a part on a PC, By the way, again, thank you, Anonymous, for the $30 tip. I don't know who that is, but you've covered lunch for today. So thank you very much. Although, you've covered like lunch and dinner, and technically breakfast. Because my dinner costs, well, my breakfast is like sub $2. It's like milk and oats in the fridge overnight. That's got to be a sub $2. That's going to be like a sub $1 breakfast. So easy. The coffee with the milk and the coffee beans, it's probably like $2. Lunch, I don't know. Maybe it's like $15. I don't spend $30 on lunch. And then dinner. You covered the day's meals. I'm going to be well fed. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. But if you've ever replaced an AIO cooler, it's a pain in the ass because you have to take everything off behind it. You have to like move cables and shit. You have to take the backing plates off. You have to remove the old cooler. You have to be careful because it's got thermal paste. It's stuck to the CPU, so you got to wiggle it. You should leave the PC on before you do it so that it heats up partially and then it's easier to move. You can clean the old thermal paste off. If you use an adhesive on your backing plate, you need to get a hairdryer to loosen the adhesive and then pull that off, which is fucking insane. And I had to do that. Never use an adhesive on your backing plate. Big mistake. Gently fucking take that off, clean it, put the new one on, troubleshoot, debug. We're back. But it was basically from 3:30 p.m. yesterday till midnight. I was like trying to figure this out between finding a replacement and then taking the old one off, sorting it, putting the new one on. The reason why I tell you that is because I had to do it yesterday so that I could continue on my pilgrimage and my journey this week, which is to get shit done 2026. We've been saying we get shit done 2021. Yeah, we get shit done 2026. What rhymes with 6? What are some words that rhyme with 6? Help me brainstorm. Crimson, thank you for the prime. Been watching your content for a couple of years now, but I'm glad to finally tune into the stream. Let's go, dude. Thank you. I really appreciate that because I like streaming. I love streaming. I love streaming. I do really enjoy streaming. It's always good when people come from YouTube and come and watch the stream. Dicks? Come on, bro. Pricks. No. Something that's like motivational, fixed. You know, get shit done 2021. We got the fix 2026. Like that doesn't work. That's kind of weird. I didn't say hello to everybody, so I will. Faith and Science, thanks for hanging out and like literally waiting for me to go live. You go. Little Pig Oink, good to see you. Kygus24, what's good, Kygus? What's good, Kygus? Kygus stopped watching Jeopardy and stays up till midnight now. I love it. I love the new Kygus. Kygus is a real one. Venom Inc. Good to see you, Venom Inc. Zanga fan, what's good? Ain DeVito. I've got your cards here, by the way. As you have just heard, it was a busy weekend, but they're sitting here. They're going to go in an express post envelope and get to you. It is no big deal. That's an easy one. Anything in Australia? Piss. I mail it. Not the piss, the cards. Piggy, good to see you. Honestly, I thought a Little Pig Oink and Piggy were the same person. I'm actually tripping out. I think Little Pig Oink, Piggy stole your fucking movement, dude. Like, you might have to go back to a derp dino. It's actually crazy. He stole your movement. Murnip, good to see ya. Pyro MK6, what's good, King? I gotcha, said hello and again, thank you. Hold my drink, said hello and again, thank you. You're not a shy lurker, you pop in. Light 8430, dear J Kerr, it's still Sunday in the better part of the world. Well, yeah, but it's Monday here. But it's Sunday for you guys, I know. And there's no better part of the world. We're all equal. Scar, good to see you. What's up with the cringy, corny ass shit that I'll be saying? That's actually crazy. We're not all equal. Some are better than others. Sideman, good to see you. Franco, what's good? Franco, all that talk and you didn't post one video for the React stream today. Where was the video? Where are the videos? It was fucking your idea, bro. I didn't know it was wrong, but air cooler is generally so stable and cheap now. Liquid is just high risk, low reward. Shit. Well, I shouldn't have put another liquid cooler in. I'm an idiot. It was actually cheaper than the one that I bought like 4 years ago. I'm gonna sneeze. That one felt really good. All those two. I'm back to sleeping 15 hours a night because Ambien is a very strong drug. This is the first night not sleeping. I'm gonna put you to sleep myself. Is Rubber's Twitch also getting hacked? That is crazy. Rubber Yen got hacked, guys. You hate to see it. Somebody bought a PS5, a graphics card, an iPad and some RAM, I think, from his from his Best Buy account. Crazy. Just hacked him. Just like that. It's that easy. You just hack people these days. One of the best AIOs in the market is like deadass $20. What? Or air coolers. I should have just gone air cooler. You have to link it to me. Put it in the Discord. I see ADP for 700 locally. I'm so tempted. It's that much now. Fucking hell, man. Is that English or Japanese? I mean, it's too late for me. I'm just curious to know what that cooler is because I just bought a new one and it was $160. And then I bought this little commander thing because I thought I was going to need this commander. Fucking wasted $20. I'm pretty sure they'll let me return it, but I feel like they won't because I opened it, tried to use it, and I was like, wait, this is fucking useless. And then I don't actually need this. Cool. Now I've just wasted $20. Just like that. They better refund me. I don't think they will. PC stores like never refund you. That's AUD. Thermalright Assassin. Interesting. That's the brand cooler that I got. Really, so the air coolers, you literally just get one air cooler and you freaking slap that bad boy on with the big fat radiator and that's it. Is it the Peerless Assassin? Dude, that thing is so big and ugly. I'm sorry. Obviously fantastic because it's like budget friendly, but that is fucking huge. Jesus. Fucking Jesus. That is ugly and humongous. Do we speak about humongous and how he got re-cancelled? Thermalright is Taiwanese and they've been on fucking fire. Well, yeah. That's the AIO I bought. If you go look at my Instagram story, you'll see I put a picture of Tifa on it. It's a Hungry Clicker piece. I mean, I thought like 160 for an AIO was pretty good. Granted, this thing gets really hot with streaming, and so like that's why I was like, had to get it done, had to fix it, had to come and stream. Don't let the little annoying things beat me. Because I could have easily, okJLUV would have just been defeated and been like, I'll do it Monday. And then Monday's a fucking write-off. And then I'm behind to start the week. And I lie to you guys for like the 4th time in a row. And we can't be doing that. Because I got to stop lying and be accountable, which is why we're here. Today's stream is a little bit different. So we're not going to be actually looking at Pokemon cards at all. I know you guys, actually, I lie. I fucking lost them again. This is crazy. I have a serious problem with my brain. This is insane, dude. I literally found more V-Star Universe cards, but now I don't know where I put them. This is fucking crazy. Oh, I think I found them. Yeah, I need to get on some stuff, man. I need to get medicated like yesterday. Nah, I lost them again. This is crazy. I actually found like another bunch of V-Star Universe character rares and I was like, this is awesome. I'm going to put them in that big binder. And then I've misplaced them again. And I couldn't tell you where I found them. And I definitely can't tell you where I freaking put them. So where are they? Where are they? I can't live like this anymore. I cannot live like this anymore. Where the fuck did they go? Nah, that is outrageous. They're gone. I literally could not tell you where they went. I'm not doing this. They'll show up. They'll show up, surely. Anyway, I found, and we're not going to be doing. It's tilted me. I'm tilted. That's it. I'm letting it go. Delete it. Can't let these little things beat me. As I was saying before, little things should be celebrated because it's a sign you're improving. And that is important to reinforce positive behavior. That's why I pat myself on the back now, okay? That's why I'm patting myself on the back now. One of those little things that I'm been trying to change. I'm still sick, by the way. Alvin Sprite, you came in and I'm like having a melty. It's crazy. Good to see Alvin Sprite. Thanks for coming down. How do I lose everything? Because I don't put things in the correct spot when I find them. I put them in the, I'll figure that out later spot. And then it doesn't commit to my long-term memory. And then I forget. So it's not that I'm forgetful. It's that I don't have the proper processes in place to remember. What's up, Jared Dishy? Good to see you. There's a guy, I don't know if you guys, there's like a guy on Twitter. He's like a Nuggets, like hardcore Nuggets NBA fan. And somebody said that he was low IQ and he said, I'm not low. He was saying that Jokic is like going to be, it's either Jokic or Okafor would be like one of the best bigs of all time. This was years ago. Jokic ended up becoming one of the best bigs of all time. But at the time when he was arguing with somebody, they said, you must be low IQ. And he said, I'm not low IQ. I just don't have the proper words and skill to convince people of my reasoning. Genius. Genius. He's so aware. The guy was super aware. That's me. I'm not low IQ. I'm not forgetful. I just don't have the proper processes in place to remember. It's different. It is very different. Is Jokic a Pokemon? No. He's a Denver Nuggets center. All right. Today's stream. So we were talking about this a little bit last week, and part of celebrating the little wins is I was going to do this tomorrow because I was feeling like exhausted, but I'm like, no. Said I'd do it. Franco, on the other hand, douchebag, said, hey, you should do this. Cool idea. And I was like, great idea, Franco. Send a video. Franco waits a whole week, sends fucking nothing. Franco, what are you doing, man? The point is, today we're doing a react stream. So we're just going to be watching Pokemon card content, videos that have been put up over the last week, couple of weeks. Some of you guys sent me stuff. So the idea of this is if there's something you want me to watch, right? You post it in the Discord. There's a channel in there called React Mondays/Sundays. Same thing, right? If you post it there, I'll put it on the list. And then every week when we do this catch up, we watch it. If there's a lot of stuff and there's a lot of stuff happening, or if something like very big happens, then I'll talk about it before the mainstreams where we go through, you know, how I'm going through the art rares, putting those in my binder, Black Bolt, White Flare. I'm thinking of the one I want to do for the Euros because I do want to do a Euro stream soon. But Mondays is when we go, or Sundays for you guys, right? Wherever you are in the world right now, is the day that we go through and we just watch it. And I like this idea because, you know, I'm feeling a little bit tired from the weekend, busy weekend, but this is like a pretty low energy thing. Like I can do this and like relax and kind of like catch up. So if there are any videos that you want to watch today, still plenty of time to share them in the Discord. You can put them in base chat or React Mondays. Either way works. Can you define WMI and PSI for me, Patty? Because I don't actually know those terms. But I agree with you without knowing those terms. I think there is a fundamental difference between low IQ and having ADHD, where I feel like I'm falling into the latter more and more as days go on, which is kind of scary because it's like, why is this getting worse as I get older? Working memory index and processing speed index. Interesting. I need to do more reading. I'm on a self-growth, self-learning journey actually right now. All right, so a couple of you guys did post stuff in React Mondays, but like, what are you guys doing? I mean, I can just show you what everyone shared. This is the channel, right? Rem just posted the plushie that they had right now in their hand for some reason. Guy from a crowd said, Reactor D's nuts. Ugandan Soldier posted best of Messi. Sylphnot posted a pizza commercial. Tom Friedman posted, like, I don't even know. I didn't watch these. We got Yoda tells a funny joke, and then this. And I'm like, okay, guys, it's meant to be Pokemon card stuff, but that's fine. We got the AI-generated version of Primal Lugia. By the way, we recorded a podcast episode, so new Poker Card Talk episode coming out in the next 3 days. These links horrify me, so I don't want to click them. Some good stuff here that I'm going to save for another day. And then this. And then this. And then this.
Pussyo, My Little Pickle, Kombucha, D's nuts. Have a nice day.
Yes, Piggies was one of the only legit ones in the middle of the chaos. Little Big Oink, thank you for the 5 months, you absolute legend. Forgot about this until I got hit with an ad. I was going to say, Little Pig Oink, are you the same person as Piggy? Because goddamn, Piggy stole your movement. You changed your username and then a guy called Piggy rocks up? What the hell's going on? I thought you guys were the same person in the Discord, but you're different people. You might have to go back to a derp dino. See, Franco instantly, he's just like, I'm just going to the fucking well, dude. Franco's just like, I'm going to the well. Card lounge. No, Piggy, you can't take a derp dino's username. That will fuck me shit up. That will fuck me shit up even more. Why'd I say it like that? That'll fuck me shit up. Like I'm a fucking matey pirate. What? No. You guys are fucking my brain. Wait. So who's a derp dino? Who the hell is a derp dino? I don't even know which one you are anymore. Don't come in my chat and change your usernames after like 3 years. I can't handle this. It's not about you, it's about me. Who are you people actually right now? I hate this fucking song as well. I don't know why I have this random K-pop on my goddamn playlist. Everyone's pissing me off. I'm triggered. I never want to hear that song again. I gotta delete that song. Okay. Lock in. No, you guys need to stop doing this. I don't like it. I know you're Sylphnor. I can track like 1 or 2 username changes, but when there's 2 people that change their username and they're both about pigs, my brain is completely rotted. All right, should we start? We should start the reacting. So I actually went and I got a few vids and stuff that I wanted to react to and talk about. I have watched some of these and I haven't watched some of these. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I've never listened to a full. This is not meant to be slander, and there may be slander today, but this right now is not. I've never listened to a full episode of Card Lounge. I've only ever seen like clips. I can't get through like 1 or 2 minutes before something like my brain just turns off. But I did see a reel that they put up a few days ago, which was about the Alakazam from XY, which is crazy because I've been talking about. I'm not saying like I'm getting my flow stolen. But I've been talking about those on the stream multiple times over like multiple streams, right? Have I not? Have I not been talking about him, right? I have. Hell yeah, I have. And I was talking about that specific card. And then like on one of the next streams, I just saw a clip come up from Card Lounge and they're talking about it. And I just saw like 10 seconds of it. I'm like, I can't watch this. But I thought it would be something interesting that we could watch together today. Seeing as we're always, I want to say the words, expressing our frustrations with the current collecting climate and the way that it's changed. And then Jake actually put a really interesting video up on YouTube today, which had a very funny thumbnail that I'm like, I'm watching that. Which is this video here, the rapid influencing corporatization of the hobby off the top with Twice Baked J. So let's start with finding this Alakazam reel that I was talking about. And I've just got to do one little quick change to the back end. Cool. What's up, Rock Sandy? How you going, Rock? Good to see you, man. Which one was it? It is, let's go by date. 2 weeks ago. It must be recent. It's this one here. Collectors are not respecting older cards. Here we go. All right.
But because it's in Fates Collide, no one cares about it.
All right, you can hear it. All right, so this is the Alakazam that we were talking about literally on the last stream, and I've been talking about these XY ultra rares, the gold bordered ones. There's the Alakazam, there is the not the Mega, there's the God of War, there is the Volcanion, there is a Valtel, there's also a Shaman, which I think probably the Shaman is probably my favorite, but probably one of the hardest to get now because this video comes out and content like this comes out, which then just directs a lot of attention to it. And there's like a difference between a content creator makes a video and it goes viral when they talk about something they like, which you often see like in the video game space. Like there was an instance where, I'll show you guys this game, right? I don't know if you guys, what's the pig from Winnie the Pooh called? Pig from Winnie the Pooh. Oink? Piglet. Fuck. Close enough. Piglet's Big Game. This game here, right? Called Piglet's Big Game, which is like low-key horror. Kind of like went viral on Twitter because people were talking about how it's got like these weird, it's got like massively weird vibes, right? It like went viral on Twitter, right? An obscure Disney game is selling out online after the internet found out it's basically Silent Hill and Resident Evil for kids. So this fucking went viral, and all of a sudden Piglet's Big Game on GameCube got really expensive and sold out. And I like collecting old random ass games, especially GameCube. So I saw the tweet when it was like in early days, and I instantly just bought like a $40 copy off Australian eBay. And now it's like fucking $100+ or something stupid. Could be even more. So that is like an example of like people in a niche, enthusiasts in like the video game space talking about something they like and then it going viral organically and then it becoming expensive, which is kind of unavoidable in this current day and age where people find new things, when new people find old things, it can trigger price spikes in certain collectible circles, particularly video games. It can happen a lot with Pokemon cards too. And I think that's fine. Like there are people that talk about cards and Pokemon they like, and then the card gets popular because the video went viral, and then the card is now expensive. But when it's straight up like, and this is why Inza, I feel like last stream was like pulling me up, being like, why do we keep saying words like underrated, underappreciated, like undervalued is a key one. And we spoke about this on the Poker Card Talk podcast. Then it can become, not dangerous, but it can start to impact the market. And it becomes difficult for the viewer to decide whether it's someone saying that from a genuine POV of like, why are these undervalued? Versus like, this is crazy how undervalued this is. So, big yap there. But that's what I felt when I first saw 10 seconds of this. Let's watch it.
If that card came out in Ascendant Heroes, it would be $1,000. But because it's in Fates Collide, no one cares about it.
You're right. Actually,
It's
that
so
even
funny to me.
it looks like a card that same artwork could just be the alt art Alakazam.
It is
in
the all
Ascendant.
card exam, actually.
well,
it's
right.
a secret rare hit from Fates Collide. No one cares about it
Right.
because it doesn't have branding kind of it. But if people cared about it, it's rarer than anything modern because obviously Fates Collide came out like 15 years ago and was like underprinted compared to now.
Right.
But like everyone cares about like the Jungle Chew because of branding, you know?
Yes.
Why is that card $1,200 raw? Forget like the graded prices, you know? Like I would rather have like
Raw it should be like $300-400.
yeah,
bucks.
I would rather have like 6 Alakazam, which is the same price
Yeah.
compared to the Jungle Chew. Pure branding. Like there are so many cards that should be hundreds more, if not thousands more, because they are older, prestigious. It's got Lugia and Umbreon in the art. If that card came out in Ascendant Heroes, it would be $1,000.
15 years ago is pretty
But
crazy.
because it's in Fates Collide, no one cares about it.
You're right. Actually,
It's
that
so
even
funny to me.
it looks like a card that same artwork could just be the alt art Alakazam.
It is
in
the all
Ascendant.
card exam, actually.
well,
it's
right.
a secret rare hit from Fates Collide. No one cares about it
Right.
because it doesn't have branding kind of it. But if people cared about it, it's rarer than anything modern because obviously Fates Collide came out like 15 years ago and was like underprinted compared to now.
Right.
But like everyone cares about like the Jungle Chew because of branding, you know?
All right. So
Yes.
Why is that card $1,200 raw? Forget like the graded prices, you know? Like I would rather have like
Raw it should be like $300-400.
yeah,
bucks.
I would rather have like 6 Alakazam, which is the same price
Yeah.
compared to the Jungle Chew. Pure branding. Like there are so many cards that should be hundreds more, if not thousands more, because they are older, prestigious. It's got Lugia and Umbreon in the art. If that card came out in a
all right, I don't know what Jake is saying when he is talking about pure branding. I think generally what happens with Pokemon cards is the more expensive cards end up being the one like at the gate when new sets come out. The more expensive or the most expensive cards tend to be the ones that have the most attention and eyes on them. So it's a bit of like a symbiotic relationship between how many people are interested in the card, and how many people are talking, like how many people are talking about it, and then also whether people just organically like it or not. Now, objectively, it is a really good card. I can't fault what they're saying because it is a really good card and it is essentially an alternate art. It's an alternate art from XY. And there aren't many other cards in those sets like these. So they are very, very nice cards. And they have generally been underappreciated for a very, very long time. I think there's probably just a better discussion to have about it, which is kind of like what we were talking. And it's easy for me to say this because I'm like, honk, honk, to my own horn. But I feel like there's just, exactly, it's just like how he frames it, Zanga fan. Where like, there's probably just a better way to have this conversation or like a more interesting way. And that's always my big issue with Pokemon card content is like, wow, like, you're right. It should be more expensive. It's just a vapid conversation for me. I would just walk away if that was like, I'd be like, yeah, anyway, nice to meet you. If I was having a conversation with someone like that and that's something they say to me, I'd never met them before. I'd be like, okay, we're not really going to have a very fruitful convo here. Maybe that makes me like stuck up and judgmental, but I just don't think it's like interesting and fruitful. Having a discussion about, hey, why did people not embrace these when they came out is much more interesting. And it's not like people didn't embrace these when they came out. Like people who liked these cards got them. And then people who were like, hey, I should probably get that before it becomes a crazy card also got them, which I feel like some of us, because you guys were saying I recently bought this from my outta binder, you know, kind of fall into. And I picked this up recently as well. That's probably a more interesting conversation for me anyway. But just being like, yeah, it should be more expensive, and then comparing it to modern cards is definitely a fallacy, I think, because modern cards, and it's something that isn't spoken about enough. Modern cards is just so overpriced. Like they're unsustainably overpriced for how many there are, right, out there, because we know factually, objectively, Pokemon is printing more and more sets than ever before. More and more of these sets, right? They're printing the most amount of cards they've ever printed. So objectively, there are more cards out there, which means these aren't as rare and scarce. And like the prices for them, I fucking halfway through what I was fucking saying, just died. Fallacy. It's just like a flawed argument, right? You know, not so much a contradiction, but maybe an argument that doesn't exactly hold up, right? Flawed argument, basically. Like, when you compare cards like this to Trikachu, the Pikachu from Ascended Heroes, like, it falls apart because that card should not be as expensive as it is. It's just propped up by this fucking hype market. There's probably a middle ground between Pikachu needs to come, like, is probably too expensive for what it is, versus the Alakazam is not as expensive for how old and rare it is and hard it is now to find in good condition. I like the card as much, but what I really care about is it should be worth more money. Yeah, and it's kind of a fucking boring conversation. But what it does is it does pump these cards, and it's the kind of pump that we don't like. We don't like these pumps. They're bad. They are a false equivalence fallacy is what you're trying to say. Thanks, Rock. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Because the audience that you've got to be fucking careful about how, I think anyway, if you care about the longevity and sustainability of the hobby, you do have to be careful about how you talk about it and what kind of content you put out there. Because from what I see, Card Lounge Podcast has cultivated a following of people that care primarily about the value and and selling Pokemon cards, right? And graded cards. It's not so much a core Pokemon card collecting audience. And like, you look at the comments. I picked this up 6 months ago when searching for undervalued cards. It's amazing what you can find when you just look through full catalog of sets. I saw this card last year and bought it for 40. It's so beautiful and texturing is insane. Based, fair, understandable. But then stuff like this. It should be worth more simply because it has Umbreon and Lugia in it. Every master setter must include this card for it. Why should it be worth more? Like, it doesn't benefit anybody when these cards pump in value. It hurts the space. And it further creates this divide between everyday collectors and, basically like ultra wealthy collectors, which is something that I spoke about in that video at the start of the year, about whether TCGs will crash in 26. There's like, that divide is getting wider and wider and wider. We spoke about this a lot on the Poker Card Talk podcast, by the way. If you want to you'll hear our full thoughts on that when that drops. I think the branding he's referring to is the fake hype marketing of pretty much forcing the modern cards in everyone's face and giving them all nicknames, for example. Yeah, but Aiden, like, where does that come from? Like, it comes from content creators. And that's why I thought this video was actually really interesting from Jake, because it's talking about a thing that he is actively doing, if I just judge it from the thumbnail, right? Which you shouldn't do. So should we watch this or should we watch? Okay. I want to give like the start of, because I'm assuming this is from this podcast. Can we talk about the collector hat? Somebody said, I saw that. Look, I don't want to talk about that fucking app, bro. I think that app is toxic. That app is toxic for the space, but that's a conversation that some people will have and a lot of people don't want to have. But which should we go with? Should we go with like trying to sit through 5 or 10 minutes of this? Or should we watch Jake's 20-minute video? Fuck, that's a long vid. How about we go into... Hello, Kin Titan. Good to see you, by the way. Let's go to Jake's video. 20 minutes of Jake is too much. Let's see how we go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Jake here, and welcome to the hobby. We are back with another episode of Off the Top. I know I'm super late on this one, and that's mainly because I've been thinking about this subject for quite a while, and it's kind of hard for me to decide what I think about it, because it's kind of a very complex topic, which is the amount and plethora of new people entering the hobby. Specifically, the large amount of influencers, content creators, and celebrities that are entering the hobby. Pretty much right now, every musician, every athlete, every rapper, every artist, every streamer, and every content creator seems to be collecting Pokemon cards.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. It is definitely a thing that is really happening. Yugi Boogie, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. This is like a big thing that is happening a lot, and it annoys me. But what can you do about it? That's just the way of the world. Pokemon cards are really popular right now. I don't like. I guess the old school term for it is vulture culture. The modern term is LARPers, right? I wouldn't put Lud into the LARPer cad. Just because dude has fucked with Pokemon for quite a while, between like Ludlock and just his like general history as a streamer. He did a lot of Pokemon card stuff when it was booming in 2020 and 2021. He's a bit fucking. Well, I mean, it's Lud's like thing where you can't really tell if he's like purposely naive or stupid or like prone to the scam or whether he's doing it for the bit. But like that stream that he did where he opened up every pack ever, you know, and he cracked that base set pack out of the slab. You know, shouldn't have done that. That was a bit silly, but he was doing it for the bit. But he got completely fucking hosed doing that whole stream because I think he just bought a whole lot of light packs. But like he's always done like interesting, at least like fun kind of content, and then he like goes back to his usual thing, which is anything. But stuff like Joe Jonas opens Pokemon cards is just like fucking not interesting, dude. I fucking hate this stuff. But that's like I'm a fucking hardcore hater. Like, first of all, Joe Jonas is a Jonas brother. They were right. They were actors. They were teen heartthrobs. I want to say, is that what you would categorize them as? Did they have a band? They did a couple of movies, and then that was it. What else do they fucking do? Joe Jonas opens Pokemon cards. Why is that a thing? What? Why are people's brains so fucking programmed? I saw this, and I think he pulls a Mew and then he jumps in a pool. Like, why is that a thing? Like, how is that a good, strong lead? Like, Julian Bridges opens Pokemon cards. Is that a good lead? The fuck did Joe Jonas do? Why is it like a thing? But it's just a thing. I know there's like, hang on, wait. I don't know who these people are. I want to say they're K-pop stars. Is that cultural appropriation? Am I assuming and therefore racist? I just know that those are Korean names. Does he pass the test? Yes, they are. Okay, I'm safe. So this thing that Jake is talking about is a valid, but yeah. Anyway, we'll keep watching.
Your favorite Twitch streamer, your favorite K-pop.
Is that me? I'm correct because I'm racist. The most important thing there is that I'm correct.
Star, Joe Jonas, Tom Brady, Dana White, Jay-Z, Usher, RM, the lead singer from BTS, collects Pokemon cards. Pretty much everyone collects Pokemon cards, you know? All Twitch streamers.
I saw this, and then the fucking Suicune EX sent someone that I know. I don't know if they're watching today, but they watch. It sent them into a fucking spin, bro. They were tripping out. They were like, fuck, I need it. I was like, bro, it's already too late. I think this card is like 3 times or 4 times what it was before she put that in the case. Look, I'm going to go out on, I'm going to say 100%. I'm going to say 99%. Her management or people close to her bought thousands of these cards. Hundreds, if not thousands of them before she did this. Because why are you doing that? Like, what are we doing? No one's favorite card is this Suicune EX. I'm sorry, that's cap. That's no one's favorite card. There are objectively better Suicune cards out there. Objectively. She hit the cert, bro. She's a real one. She hit the cert. I mean, did she crack the slab? Bro, that's Momo. I don't know who these people are. Name 3 Momo songs. You can't. You just fucking think you like her, but you don't. You were conditioned by Big Corpo to like K-pop. It's not good music. It's actually objectively not. She's part of Twice. I don't even know who Once is. I'm so sorry. I had to fucking do it. That's him with the red heart. I know who Neymar is. He plays fucking soccer. Maybe she likes it for sentimental reasons. It's not that deep, bro.
Pretty much like it's easier to find streamers who aren't collecting Pokemon cards than ones that do, because pretty much they all do. So pretty much a lot of people are joining the
I'm not fucking racist. Hello, Yugi Boogie. I just want you to know, as a longtime fan, I'm not racist. Watched your videos a while back since Crimson Haze era. Started collecting JP as a result. Haven't went back. Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you for the very kind message. While everybody else calls me racist.
Ones that do, because pretty much they all do. So pretty much a lot of people are joining the hobby right now, and or at least joining it very, very recently, and they're throwing a lot of money and big businesses behind of it. obviously some of the big ones like Tom Brady owns like 25 card shops in the past year. Like they straight up just opened 25 card shops in 1 year, and they have backings from multimillionaires now. Pharrell Williams started their own auction house where they are looking to consign Pokemon cards immediately. So I am really conflicted about all of this, mainly because I'm a bit of a gate wide open kind of person, which means basically I do believe everyone can and should collect Pokemon cards because it's just super cool and it's a very easy, no nonsense hobby. So
I was literally thinking, I like this video. I think it's going to be a good video. And then he said that, and I fucking don't like that. I disagree with that. I think you can do whatever you want. Do whatever you want, right? It's your life. You're going to live it once. Fine. I really don't like I just think the LARPing is like super toxic and actively hurts the space. And it's because people quietly leave because of LARPing, and all you're left with is LARPers. And then I got like nothing to speak to about Pokemon cards with LARPers. I was thinking I was going to ask Primal this, and I was like, do you think it's rude to just like walk away, or like, do you think this is like one of those things I don't have to say it, but I'm going to say it because I've just been thinking about it and I want to know what you guys think, right? Because like, I feel like I would just fucking like straight up ignore a LARPer and like have nothing to say to them. Because I actually think that like you just don't like this the way that I do, and I have fucking no respect for you because of that. Like you like it, and that's it. Does that make me like a fucking prick? Like I think it does, and I think that's fine. I think it's better that way. That's how I live my life, rather than like pretending to be welcoming and accommodating. You know, because I don't like the idea of like wearing cloaks to fit into spaces, which I feel like LARPing really is. You don't know anyone your time. Well, no, I don't. But like, I reckon I would 100% be perceived as like giga rude. Like if Joe Jonas came after me and was like, "Hey, dude, love your content," I'd be like, "Thanks, man. Thank you." And then I would probably fucking like try to route and escape from the conversation as quickly as possible. And I would like walk away. And I would like walk away being like, "Man, I wish that guy didn't fucking talk to me." But that's my brain. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't need to say this stuff. I don't need to say this stuff out loud. But like, that's just how I feel. Cause like, I got no time. Like, I don't respect it. I just don't respect it. I don't respect it. Like, I don't respect coming into people's spaces and using it for personal gain. I don't. But when people are trying to protect their happiness and trying to like keep enjoying something that they've enjoyed for a long time, and then others are coming in and just using it for whatever personal gain, whether it's money, clout, or whatever opportunity, I think that's probably one of the lowest things you can do. It's like, I lose a lot of respect instantly for those people. What if the big Yahoo came up to you? What do you think, man? I feel like as hobbies get harder and harder to like continue to exist within, it's more important that like, I think you have to like judge people for a long, like you gotta like fucking put them on a trial. Like if Joe Jonas sticks with Pokemon for like 6 years after Pokemon fucking like drops off and dies, I'll be like, okay, respect. But we all know that's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna fucking like be rude. I'm not gonna like be rude, but I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna pretend. I'm just gonna like want to leave the conversation. I'm gonna keep it professional. But I would constantly be thinking about it and be like, was that rude? I probably shouldn't have done that. Should I have just fucking like towed the line? You know what I mean? Should I have just like got on with it?
from that approach, it's absolutely happening. A lot of people are jumping in. However, there's a little bit of a question mark in the air of, you know, are they LARPers or are they just jumping on the bandwagon? Because I would agree and say that quite a few of them who are jumping into the hobby is mainly due to the fact that it is incredibly lucrative. Now there are true OG fans amongst the list. It's not like everyone, you know. I do believe like BTS and Joe Jonas truly just enjoys the hobby and just enjoys ripping open booster packs. However, for a lot of these famous celebrities and large content creators or people who are opening up businesses in the hobby, they are doing it because it is just straight up really lucrative right now. It's just big business. It just makes financial sense to.
Yeah, I mean, are they LARPers or are they doing it because it's lucrative? It's the same thing. Yeah. I think he probably just meant to say, are they LARPers or are they actually genuinely engaged in the space and like interested in it?
Open up an auction house, to open up a card shop, to open up a rip and ship platform. There are a lot of those, obviously. Like,
okay, so like off the rip. Okay. Off the rip. Let's like categorize it. So if, okay. All right, off the rip. If you all of a sudden come into space and you just start vending, LARPer. You just start with the rip and ship business, LARPer. You open up a Pokemon card store out of nowhere, LARPer. That's it. No respect. A great example that I think is fucking crazy, but most people don't know like the full backstory or lore like behind people, is that Boosters and Bangers guy, right? So Boosters and Bangers guy was the guy that got into it with Jason Page because they were both just fucking being dickheads. Objectively, I think Jason Page was the lesser of the two evils, right? But like the Boosters and Bangers guy, that guy in a video, I think in his first video or his second video, one of the apology fucking videos, right? Was like, I only got into Pokemon 6 months ago when I started vending. Instantly, fuck off. Like, I fucking don't like people like that. If that guy came up to me, I'd be like, cool, man, see you later. Like, I just got fucking nothing to say to that guy. If he got into it with me, I'd give him some fucking words. But like people like that don't care. I have no respect for them, and I don't think there's like any time or space for them in the hobby because they literally have just been like, yeah, I just got into this to like sell stuff. You literally just got into it to make money off it because it is so lucrative. Anything you say from that point onwards is LARP. Nothing you can do like will change it. Now, if you came into the space, if he's been like, oh, you know, I started fucking collecting again, and you know, after collecting for a while, I thought it would be cool to like try and build my collection while vending at the same time. Like, okay, but I think like the pathway of getting back into it and then starting to capitalize on it is fucking weird. And it's like, what are you giving versus what are you taking? That's probably the best measure of it. And I think that's probably how I measure it. Like, what are you giving versus what are you taking? So like in the example of Joe Jonas, what are you giving versus what are you taking? You're giving 30 seconds of entertainment to somebody who wants to see a pack get open. You're taking, okay, well, now you're like, it depends. If you're just opening a pack and it's for fun, it's relatively innocuous. But then if I start seeing like the top 10 cards I collected and it's like fucking, you know, I'll walk through of like the top 10 favorite cards of all time that they just bought in the last like 3 months. I'm like, pause, man. You know, why are you making a video about this? You never cared about it before. Now you're making a video about it. I'm instantly thinking like, there's red flags. You trying to pump these cards? Like that's where I'm going. So it's what you're giving versus what you're taking. Let's keep watching.
People talk about TikTok Shop and whatnot as being the two big ones, but between those, there's a ton of other ones, right? There's like Fanatics. There's like a platform called like Rip It or something. There's like eBay Live. There's so many, you can't even name them all. And there's so many breakers and mysteries lab companies. So there are a lot of just new companies and businesses jumping into the hobby. And that can be really, really painful too. So again, like I think this is a super conflicting topic because I think it's cool that more people are collecting cards. It really legitimizes the hobby. It's never been easier to just tell people that you collect Pokemon cards because it's just a really socially acceptable hobby right now. But at the same time, you know, it gets quite challenging because You don't want all of these people joining into the hobby just because it's big business, right? So that's quite challenging. So in today's video, I know this has been kind of a long going topic, but I want to really break it apart. Like, what are the pros of all of this change happening in the hobby? And at the same time, what are the cons? Because there's going to be pros and there's going to be cons. And there is no call to action in a video like this because you can't really stop it. I'm not going to tell you to blacklist Tom Brady. I'm not going to tell you to hate Logan Paul. If you dislike them, that's completely fine. That's up to you. But at the end of the day, this wave of change is going to happen whether you and I like it or not. Like, we don't have a lot of powers to do anything with it. If you actively hate it, you can choose to abstain from touching their platform. You can say like, yeah, I'm not just going to visit these card shops, or I'm not going to approach these activities, and that's completely fine too. But I think with the way that the hobby is going at it, these changes are going to happen whether you like it or not. So it's going to be interesting to see how we approach it. So let's talk about it. What are the pros and cons of pretty much every content creators and celebrity in the whole entire world jumping into the hobby all at once?
Okay, a lot of words, a lot to digest there. I like this video. I actually think this is a really good video from Jay. I'm interested to see the discourse that comes out of it from his channel, because obviously, like, he's got a different audience and large reach. So I think it's actually kind of good that he's making a video talking about this. Yeah, I know what you guys are saying. There are like a few contradictions because some of the stuff that Jake is talking about is stuff that he does. But I mean, that's like literally in the same breath, I'm talking about like what you're giving versus what you're taking. I think Jake is just like a really conflicting creator at the moment, or like for the last few years, right? Because he went from being like super wholesome and like, you know, trying to help people as much as he possibly could, to leaning into, with a lot of those like, you know, everything you need to know or like set review videos, to then leaning into like the value and the investing component really strongly. And then cultivating an audience that really loved that a lot. And then that audience kind of fucking breeding and growing rapidly. And then now in like recent years, he's kind of pulled back a little bit from that. And like you look at his like channel and like the videos have suffered because of it. And I think like some of his videos have found that to be a bit of a contradiction. And so sometimes he gets like roasted in his video comments. So like he's a very, but like in that same breath, like he's still like, I don't know whether you like, I don't like hate Jake. I just think that he's an interesting character, right? Whether you love him or hate him, you can't deny that he adds a little bit to the space. Like he adds a very interesting perspective. And he's got a pretty, like he's initiating a pretty interesting conversation here. But maybe he is having an identity crisis. Maybe he is. And that's not something it's not like he should be like, ridiculed for that. He's probably just trying to find where the fuck he belongs in this space anymore. Because you can probably see like how what he does influences it positively or negatively. Joe Jonas has been into Mon for a while. Sorry, I saw this. Hold my drink. He grew up in a small town by me, Wyckoff, New Jersey. Knew his family from church. He's legit. Well, probably is. Okay, fair. Because like, okay, let's be serious. A lot of us grew up with Pokemon, right? But it's like it's the question mark over like, why are you coming back now? Like, why are you coming back now? And like, what are you giving versus what are you taking? You know? Maybe he likes Pokemon and he saw the opportunity for a brand deal. Maybe someone will sponsor them, or like the chance to work with Pokemon because Pokemon are working with big celebrities. Like, I don't like it. You know, I'm about rewarding the little guy, like the up and comers. You know, I feel like if you're already, I feel like you can be big. You can be big and famous and still like Pokemon cards. It's when you start fucking posting it where it's like becomes like, it just becomes like we're just doing this for clout. You know what I mean? Like it's like why I took a lot of what I do offline, because it's like I can post this, but I might influence the space and I can still enjoy it without posting about it. There's so many things that I have collected that I just don't share with you guys. Not because I don't want you to see it. It's just because like I can still enjoy it offline, and maybe that's better. I mean, it's like why I open my packs offline now. Mostly, if I open English, I just open it on my own. I don't need to fucking show it all the time. So, like, I feel like when you come from a big, like if you're already a big person in a space, like let's say you're Tom Brady. Why is Tom Brady popular? Football player. Then all of a sudden Tom Brady gets into Pokemon. I'm like, fucking hell, man. It's so gluttonous. You already had your thing. You already are who you are. Like, Why do you need to come into this thing? There are people that are trying to make it in this space as like their starting point, but they're getting eaten by people that have already made it, right? Coming in and fucking eating it. Like, there's like the other one that I know, and like, you want to call me racist? No, you might want to call me sexist. Natalie Roosh, right? Because I saw that video by Original Paradigms where he's talking about the OnlyFans girls coming to Pokemon. It's like, yeah, what are we doing? This is fucking weird. You're already like, you've made your millions out of whatever you've made doing OnlyFans or whatever. Power to you, right? Like, why do you need to then like come into this Pokemon card space and like try and create this fucking weird link? It's weird. Like, it's weird. You already have, like, why do you need more? It's gluttonous. Not to fucking mention like the weirdness of, you know, fucking essentially sex workers coming into a space that is primarily filled with children, right? It's a bit odd, right? Now that's a conversation maybe for another day, but that's an example. Like, why? That's why people get upset. Why like core fans and hardcore fans get upset and get defensive, because it's like you already have your thing. Like, why are you coming in here and like mucking it up here? You know? And it is just great, and that's why like it's hard to embrace it. There's like this element of we should want it to be like a welcoming community where anybody can jump in and start collecting, but in the same breath, like, why do we want to invite these people and accommodate them when what they're doing is capitalizing on the thing that we like and then potentially exploiting it further for personal gain? If someone comes in and starts like fucking with Pokemon cards and they're like making cool content, interesting stuff that people have never seen before, super passionate, fucking power to you. But when it's vapid stuff like, today I'm going to open a Pokemon pack, and then like a little funny gag, I'm like, LARP, you know? But Jake brought up like a couple of really good points there, you know, especially about how it's inevitable. You can't do anything about this. It's like, you can have them puff and whatever, but you can't really do a whole lot. It's just going to happen. It is happening. It's been happening for years. Opossum Bud puts it really, really well. And he has for years, right? He's always fucking said, we'll see how many of these people are around when the money goes. And the money hasn't gone yet, so these people are still around. But that is the fucking true. That is the true decider, basically, of how real this influx and new wave of people have come in is. When the money goes, and it might never, but if it does, if those people go too, you'll be, the people left standing will be the, you know, the core fans. But who knows? Who even fucking knows anymore? All right, let's keep watching. Actually, I should fucking acknowledge you guys. Let's react to OnlyFans Pokemon girls. I feel like that'll cut me a TOS, and we're on a good run here at Twitch. It just sucks because while it's cool that they're making it cool, it's a double-edged sword. They're making it impossible for us because it's so expensive. But I don't even think like they're making it cool, are they? Like, it's already still cool. If anything, like the main thing that they're doing is making it inadvertently, they're making it very difficult to find modern product because more people get interested in Pokemon cards. The first thing they want to go to is the newest set or the set that their favorite opened. Therefore, more people are trying to get modern. Now, that ordinarily would be fine if modern was sitting on the shelves or we didn't have people exploiting modern, flippers, scalpers, resellers, rip and shippers, but we do. So really, it only benefits two groups. The people that are using it for the content, and then the people that are exploiting the popularity born from the people exploiting it for content to then make money off of the genuine people that want to go collect the cards. I've seen a lot of discourse actually recently about definition of like what a true collector is versus a flipper or a scalper, and that seems to primarily be coming from flippers and scalpers, which is really fucking funny. But yeah, I hate how much Japanese boxes have risen market. It's nuts. I mean, Yugi Boogie, that is like because people have exploited, like that is like probably the end game of what we're talking about here, in that people exploited Japanese for personal gain to the point where it's inaccessible. Which it is. Like my partner's brother, right? We'll keep watching Jake's vid, but like this is why I want to do this stuff, because like it's all triggers for conversation, right? My partner's brother, he was over yesterday. He's like a few years older than me. And he's like, every time he sees me, he's like, oh, you know, you're probably making a bit of money out of all this. Because like he knows people that sell Pokemon cards. He told me, he's like, oh, you know, this guy that works at the cash converters near me, you know, he just started selling all these, he goes to Japan and buys cards and then he brings them back and he sells them. He's making a mint. I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, is that what you've been doing? I'm like, no, not really. I was like, I just kind of like just collect it. And he's like, oh, okay. And he's always just like, oh, you must be making a mint. You must be making a mint. Like, and again, yesterday, he's like, oh, you're probably just making a mint out of it. It's like, no, I'm not. Right? I'm just actually trying to collect it. So like, that is like the sign that all of this stuff has pushed cards to being inaccessible. And I think about this a lot because and again, like, to my own horn, and it's my channel, I'm the fucking best, I didn't do anything wrong, right? I definitely had a part to play in what I do, where I just talk about what I like. But that is all it is. Like, I'm just talking about what I like. And I should be free to just do that. And that's all I've ever done. So it's really difficult to fucking like embrace new people coming in when you see them when you've seen them come in over time and then you've seen you're watching what they do and they're literally just doing it to make money out of it, right? And you're seeing them just doing it to like buy and sell stuff. And then you say like, hey, maybe this isn't like the best thing. Like maybe we probably shouldn't do this. And then you get like whacked over and over and over again and people tell you you're fucking whining and you just hate other people making money. And then it gets to end game and now like I just can't even open it, you know? It's yeah. Every day I have this thought that if genuine collectors took a break from buying at the same time, they would push a lot of people out of it. You mean like if we all stop collecting? But that's the thing, like, how many of you guys have opened up a Japanese booster box in the last 3 months? Like, straight up. Illicent. I went to my first card show yesterday and the whole thing felt disingenuous. So much sealed product and the feeling that everyone wanted to just squeeze me dry. It's, yeah. I haven't been to a card show for a while. They are tricky to navigate. You kind of have to like go in with the fucking mission and stick to it. Otherwise, it can be gross. But yeah, I know the feeling. I haven't been to one for months either. 0 Japanese boxes for 6 months. Nope. Murnip, nope. I haven't opened a box in 2 years. I haven't. Last I opened was Nihil 0. Not worth anymore. Only open box at Emma, CPA. Last open was Mega Dream. You know what I mean? So like, core collectors aren't buying this stuff, but it's not going down. It's like, it's not our space. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not our space anymore. Like it's this second group where it's like money, profit, money, profit. How much can you flip it for? Waiting for Japanese Amazon JP lottery. Let me in. If you, all you can do is pray. I feel like if you haven't gotten an invite yet, if you didn't get an invite when everyone got the first wave of invites, it might be over. That method got patched when that video went viral showing how to do it. All right.
Jumping into one of the biggest pros, I think, of the celebrities and content creators and big businesses jumping into the
Okay, this is going to be interesting.
hobby, which is there is way more accessibility to cards. It was a real challenge.
I can already see Franco's blood boiling off of that statement.
People talk about how cheap cards were a couple of years ago, but it was a real challenge to get anything. If you wanted a Mario Pikachu box or a Poncho box or stuff from Japan, it was not easy to get 5 or 6 years ago or 7 years ago or 8 years ago. If you wanted a Mario Pikachu box or a Poncho box, it was a real challenge. More jumping into one of the biggest pros, I think, of the celebrities and content creators and big businesses jumping into the hobby, which is there is way more accessibility to cards. It was a real challenge. Like, people talk about how cheap cards were a couple of years ago.
This is fucking crazy, bro.
It was a real challenge to get anything. If you wanted a Mario Pikachu box or a Poncho
this
box
is actually
or stuff from Japan, it was not easy to get 5 or 6 years ago.
This is okay. This is actually really bad because this is rewriting history. You can't fucking do this stuff, dude. Like, you actually have a responsibility as a creator to not fucking lie. You have to not. You can't lie. Like, this is actually fake news. It's fake news. Wait, did TTS just work? What the fuck? Dude, TTS just worked. What? That's crazy. When did TTS get fixed? Dude, I've been paying the bills. This is fucking crazy. You can't lie. And this is something that I've had a big issue with. TTS has been working for a few streams now?
TTS works.
Holy pogger. Okay. This is something I've had a fucking issue with Sakura's card store, Poker Any, Kuyon Collectibles a couple of years ago or like a year ago, right? Where they just fucking straight up lie. And it's fucking annoying. Like, why lie for? Because you're trying to make money out of the space and you don't want people to know the truth.
Twice LARPed Jake.
It's actually crazy though that, because like the issue with this is that people watch this and then they believe it. Like, new people come in that don't know and they're just like, oh,
I'm livid.
This is exactly what happened because this guy, did you know that was actually really hard to get? No. I mean, we all know this. Crazy. Even as far back as 2 years ago, it was very, very easy to get from Japan. All you needed was a parcel forwarder's address and a Pokemon Center Japan account. And you could pre-order for a very long time 5 boxes of Terrestrial Festival. Every week, I think. You could just keep pre-ordering it over and over and over and over for the first wave. And that was 2024.
Twice gaped Jake.
If you're watching this over at YouTube or you're watching this as a short, if you're watching this right now, Japanese Pokemon cards were very easy to get from Japan and you could often get them for less than retail. You could often get them at wholesale price. I have receipts where I bought Sun and Moon booster boxes in 2020 and 2021. This is post Logan Paul boom, where I was buying them for 4,000 yen. Sets like, sets like Miracle Twins, sets like Remix Bout, sets like Sky Legends, right? Where you're getting cards like the Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos by Hyoganosuke as a special art. So many of those sets non-stop. And it's why I opened so much back when I first started streaming and why I have those special arts in my collection, because it was accessible. It became inaccessible, right? When middlemen made themselves unnecessary middlemen in the US or internationally, wherever, buying the boxes and then selling them at a markup. Selling them at a markup that was 2 or 3 times, but still less than what an English booster box was, so that Japanese looked affordable and attractive to somebody who was trying to get into Pokemon card collecting at the time. And those people made a mint. And those are the same people that consistently lie about those are the same people that consistently lie about accessibility and try to sell this idea to you that they made Pokemon cards more accessible and having more people like them in the space is a good thing. When in actual fact, those are the very same people that ruined it and made it so hard to buy those sets. And it's why we're at the point where we have booster boxes at 4 or 5 times retail. And most people just don't know that, because then Jake comes in and then he makes a video and he says that accessibility was really difficult back then. That's crazy. That is so crazy. But the thing is, back then I made those guides showing people how to get booster boxes from Japan and the place stayed accessible. Did it not? Did it not? It wasn't like I uploaded those videos and then all of a sudden shit hit the fan. I made 2 or 3 different how to buy Pokemon card videos on YouTube. Sorry, I don't want to sound like I'm getting defensive. I'm not. Because I already know the truth. I know who I am. But like, I know that like when I made those videos, like those cards stayed accessible and the sets stayed accessible. Maybe a website here and there like Okiniland. I remember when I spoke about Okiniland and Cardiacs got really upset. But like, it's crazy. Because I made those videos and I showed people how to get them without having to go through unnecessary middlemen. And then you could still get them. Do you think it's malicious from Jake? Or is he just silly? For a very long time, I've always thought Jake is just a little bit silly. I don't think he's malicious. I don't think he's a malicious person. But I'm starting to buy into the idea that he is controlled opposition and he is a paid op. And that maybe somewhere someone is paying him to lie. Because some of these takes are actually genuinely insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might be fed posting. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Fool me once, fuck it, I got it wrong. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times. Shit, dog. How much they paying you? I want to get some of that.
7 years ago or 8 years ago, it was very, very challenging. There were very few channels for you to get any of those kind of products. And if you wanted to get Pokemon cards, you had to go to a specialty card shop. And Walmarts do have them, but it was, again, like still a challenge because there just weren't that many places that actually sell cards. Now,
Bitch, you could get these cards off eBay. It didn't even matter if you wanted to, like, you felt like it was too difficult to go through Black Ship, Japan Rabbit, I don't know, fucking, what's the other one? Zen Market. Fucking, there's so, like, Tenso. You could just go to ebay.com. How many people posted pictures of like, oh man, I used to buy these off eBay for fucking like $45. Patty, how many receipts have you got, bro? Like, Patty basically is a self-made bajillionaire because he was collecting this stuff when no one fucking gave a shit. I bought Black White Shiny Collection for $15 a box. Why are we lying? You could just go on eBay. Why are we lying? Why are we like trying to rewrite history? This is crazy.
nowadays there seems to be a card shop on every corner, like a physical card shop, and obviously digital platforms have expanded rapidly. So
okay, I'm gonna go out on the, okay, I'm gonna speculate. I'm doing big speculation. Maybe, okay. Formula One Man talks about this. He says, I have the right idea and I like talk about the right concepts, like the economic concepts, but I don't know the terms for them. I don't know actual names for them. Okay. So when you're in too deep, right, you have to continue just fucking towing the line. Like you got to keep the fucking show going. So maybe, right, I'm speculating. Maybe Jake bought his house. He's got a mortgage. Maybe he's quit his job and he's trying to go full-time content, right? And rather than like try and innovate as a creator and make it as like an actual content creator on YouTube, he's just trying to keep this market going, because if this market keeps going, then the value of his collection stays high. If the value of his collection stays high, his assets, right, remain valuable, and his assets are very liquid, so he will be able to sell them for actual cash, fiat at any point, right? Fiat, however you want to say it. Therefore, it doesn't benefit him to talk honestly and earnestly about the space, because if he does, the market might cool. And so that's why he says this shit. Maybe. I don't know. Is that a reason? I'm trying to fucking find a reason for it. Because like he just is, right now he's just straight up being, I want to say non-factual. I don't want to keep saying lying, okay? Maybe he's just being, right now he's being non-factual. I don't know whether he's lying, because lying suggests that there's intent, right? But between this and then like Card Lounge, which seems like it's just a place to harbor people that are in the space for money, social media is very powerful. And so it keeps the market and it keeps the story going, right? It keeps people thinking and believing and understanding that Pokemon cards are valuable. Therefore, it keeps his collection value high, right? Therefore, it keeps him wealthy. Therefore, he doesn't have to go back to full-time work and he can continue working for himself. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Because that's all I can think. I just think if you really like the space, you would, one, just absolutely do your research and show some receipts to back up your point there. So show it being inaccessible, or do the research and then be like, oh, wait, actually it was accessible. And so you don't say this, right? I just feel like you would do that.
this just didn't exist 6 or 7 years ago. But if you truly wanted to, you could basically go on like 100 different platforms, order a booster pack, and someone will rip it and send you the cards in 1 to 2 days. And I think at least that's really, really cool that that accessibility exists. We're not talking about the price of that or the legality or the ethics of that. I just think it's straight up cool that you can rip open a booster pack at any given time. That is kind of neat in terms of accessibility. And at the same time, if you want to grade your cards, it's never been...
Okay, you can, but it is not economical. And it is a bad value prop for the buyer, okay, and the collector. Just because I can go and buy a fucking Rolex, right, doesn't mean that it's cool. I don't know if that's a great example. I don't know. What's a good example? I don't even fucking know, man. I'm fucking stun locked by this statement. It's crazy. I don't fucking know, man. I don't even know. I don't even know. That's like saying if eggs became really expensive and like eggs were like $20 for a dozen, but I could go on an app and I could buy them, and I couldn't buy them at the store, but I could go on an app and I could buy them for $25 a dozen, and I would get them within a day. That it's cool. No, it's not. Is it? But I also want, I don't want to be too harsh here, because objectively the idea that you can open packs at any time online or not is objectively cool. But that would be cool if it wasn't exploitative and 2 or 3 times what it would cost you if you just walked to the store and bought it yourself. Notwithstanding all the other things you need to worry about, like, is the seller actually going to ship it if I get a hit, if I get something rare? Has the pack been weighed or scanned? Blah, 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 blah. So many different, like, is fucking FedEx going to steal it or whatever?
Been easier. Back in the day, it was a real challenge. Like, there was a lot of mystery around Pokemon card grading. If you want to grade your cards nowadays, it's super easy.
Okay, again, now we're talking about grading, right? Isn't it really bad? Isn't it grading fucking like dragging your balls against concrete right now? I don't know what I shouldn't use terms like that, because that's gross. And also, I should be inclusive with the terms. Isn't that like pulling out your fucking big toe's nail and pouring like alcohol on it? Like, isn't it painful right now? It takes longer than it's ever taken, and it's more expensive than it's ever cost.
It's a super streamlined process. You can go to any GameStop.
Now I'm fetish shaming? Fuck it.
And they will just send your cards off for grading. The methods for grading have just become so much easier. In fact, if you buy a card on eBay and it's kind of an expensive card, eBay just has the option, hey, do you want to send this to PSA right now? I'm not saying you want to, but the option is there. So that is absolutely really, really cool. And at the same time, the sales channels are everywhere. In that if you want to sell your cards, it's so much more liquid nowadays than it ever was before. That's one of the biggest complaints that people talk about when they are collecting a large collection, is that when you ever want to sell your collections years ago, it was a challenge. Like, there weren't a lot of people buying Pokemon cards, so it was a challenge to sell anything.
All right, finally, something that is grounded in reality. Okay, yes. It's easier than ever to sell Pokemon cards. I'm going to give him that one. But unfortunately, at this point of the video, Jake is 1 from 10. And it's not looking good for the next 12 minutes.
Like, obviously, I sold plenty of super expensive stuff from years ago that weren't expensive then. But the reason they were those prices, like, I would sell a Poncho Pikachu PSA 10 card for like $100. And that listing would stay online for like 1 to 2 months. You would think like, wow, someone would scoop up that Poncho Pikachu in hours or minutes as soon as that listing goes up, because it's so incredibly cheap. But you got to understand, the hobby was so much smaller then that a listing for like a Scream Pikachu or a Mario Pikachu card or a Poncho Pikachu or any of these kind of products, they would sit online for like weeks, if not months at a time, because
has anyone else seen it? Can anybody else see it? Let me know if you see it, chat. I'll give you a little hint.
physical card shop, and from Japan it a couple of years ago. But it was a real challenge to get anything. If you wanted a Mario Pikachu box or a Poncho box or stuff from Japan, it was not easy to get 5 or 6 years ago. Or a Mario Pikachu card. Understand, the hobby was so much smaller then that a listing for like a Scream Pikachu or a Mario Pikachu card or a Poncho Pikachu or any of these kind of products, they would sit online for like weeks, if not months at a time, because there weren't people just constantly buying these products. It was not easy to get 5 or 6 years ago or 7 years ago or 8 years ago. There weren't people just constantly buying these products. But nowadays, if you want to sell anything, like if you have...
It's actually crazy. Which one is it? Which one is it, bro? It's actually crazy. Was it hard or was it easy? Did the stuff sell or did it not? What are we saying? He started off so strong. Like, the video was so promising in the first 4.5 minutes. I'm like, this is great. He's going to talk about some actual interesting topics. We're actually going to see some interesting topics here. But now we're getting this. I don't get it. Make it make sense. I don't get it. The rambling caught up to him. I'm not going to... Look, in Jake's defense, I'm running defense for him. I'm going to keep running defense for the guy, right? In his defense, sometimes, okay, sometimes when you're doing these rambling videos, you fuck yourself. But the key, right? The key as a creator is to fucking catch it. All right? Whether you catch it in the moment, you catch it a minute later and you start a new take, or you catch it when you're editing, there's like 2 or 3 or 4 fucking capture points, bro. You can even just lie and edit it out. You can just like cut out the bits in the 1 minute segment. You can cut out like 40 seconds of it. Nobody fucking knows. Yeah, I feel like he definitely should have scripted this. There should be notes in front of him. Maybe there are, but I feel like they should be better notes.
Cards, products, anything at all that you want to sell. There are so many sales channels that are available that a lot of collectibles have become incredibly liquid. So the accessibility to how quickly you can access cards and how quickly you can sell off your cards or trade off your collection has exploded. You just have so many more options right now. In fact, it's gotten so explosive that there's just a straight up buy list for rare, expensive Pokemon cards. Like, if I ever wanted to sell my Mario Pikachu, the platform Sneaker Dunk will just straight up pay me 35 grand for my PSA 10 Mario Pikachu.
Okay. It's not sponsored by Sneaker Dunk, but that's sus. I'm watching you, bro. I'm watching you, Jake. I'm watching you.
Why would they buy it at that price? Because they have buyers in Japan and Singapore and Asia who will pick it up from them for 38 to 40K. So they're willing to buy my card for 35K because they can easily sell it for between 38 to 40K, and that's one card. They will happily buy that card for 35K at any given time, no questions asked. That's just their buy list price. They will happily take 10 copies of Mario Pikachu PSA 10s if I had them. I don't have 10, but that just shows you how liquid the market actually is.
Okay, so the market is liquid, right? It is, but it wasn't not liquid back then. It's just fewer people were buying the cards. But they were there. That's how people got them. Like, I want to say 90%, 80, I want to say just off the rip, maybe like 80 to 90% of people who were collecting Japanese Pokemon cards between 2010 and 2019 were just buying them off eBay. And I would say only a small percentage were buying them from sites like Army or buying them through parcel forwarders. Like, I want to say 80 to 90% of people were just buying it off eBay. Like, it astounds me when people who have like big Japanese collections show me their purchase history from eBay, and I'm like, that's crazy. Like, you were literally just buying insane cards, insane boxes off of eBay from Japan. I'm heated by this. You don't want to see how heated I am when I see Robo talk.
Again, that's a pretty large pro. So what are some of the cons? Because, boy, if you're watching this video, you're probably on the other side of the fence. You're probably not really enjoying celebrities jumping into the hobby. So there are absolutely a ton of cons to it as well. I think the biggest con that people talk about when they see so many celebrities and industries jumping into the hobby absolutely is the disappearance of the whimsy or fun around the hobby. And that's absolutely true, is that a lot of the people that are jumping into the hobby right now, some of them are true OG fans, but a lot of them are truly LARPers or people that just want to make a quick buck. They're here because it just makes financial sense to open up a business related.
What does that even mean, that the whimsy is gone? I'm all about, look, all right, I'm not going to lie, because I would get fact checked by Joe. I'm not all about the whimsy. I'm trying to be more about the whimsy in general, but I can recognize the whimsy. I'm not a fucking buzzkill, and I just don't see what is the whimsy. What's the whimsy? Oh, the magic of opening boxes. Why he used big words? Dude, whimsy is a 6-letter word. Why do we have fucking 3rd graders in the chat? Where are the mods? Where is the mod? Whimsy is a 6-letter word. It's one letter beyond Wordle. The innocence of just enjoying collecting some shiny cardboard before money bro culture. Well, okay, all right. If that's what we're saying, then yeah, it's probably fair. I mean, like, I purposely don't watch pack opening content because it tilts me, and I don't need the fucking random dopamine rush from somebody else. I got no interest in it. And maybe because of that, when I do open packs, I still like have fun. Like, I opened up my first partner series 3. I had a pre-order. I didn't even know. Forgot I did it. I thought I just automatically didn't get one. But when I did some pre-orders, I must have like fucking clicked it. So there you go. W. When I opened the promo pack and I got the Gen 3 starters, I was like, oh, let's fucking go. Guys, you remember when I didn't fucking remember Torchic's name? That was crazy. I got Torchic, I got Mudkip, and I got Trico. That was crazy. So yeah, I get what he's saying with the whimsy's not really there. I just click off it.
To collectibles right now. It's just a hot space, right? They're doing it because it's a smart business decision. And that absolutely shows. And it shows in a lot of different ways. And it makes it so.
How capitalist pilled are you Americans? Because like, we talk about Americans being capitalistic, but you, like, is it fucking, this is bad. Like, you guys just, you don't see the fucking whimsy, period. Like, you guys are just, we have to make money off of this. It's making money off this. We have to make money off this right now. I guess there is also this element of like, you guys are just trying to survive too. That is true. I know you guys have got your shit's fucked up right now. You cannot speak ill of capitalism here one bit. I mean, just go back and look at the fucking investor stream from 2024. Those guys were fucking pissed, man. They were pissed off. Dude, I was Jester maxing that stream. I'm not gonna lie, that stream, I didn't fucking say anything of substance. I just let everyone else talk. That was an awesome stream. I was like, you know what? You guys are fucking like really in too deep. And this was the whole time I was doing that stream, I was literally sitting there. I'm like, this was a fucking bad idea. What the fuck was I thinking? I'm just gonna sit here and like let everyone else talk. It's like, you just watch that stream back. I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, in his brain, he's like, oh, I really fucked up and it's very hot outside. Why did I fucking do this? That stream, everyone in chat was against you. Chat was wild. You got one guy hard that stream. Yeah, I mean, I just like shouldn't have done that stream, but it was funny. I don't regret it. I would do it again. Somebody left a comment on a video and I was like, you should get this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy and do an Investor Bro stream. I'm like, bro, you fucking crazy? Why would I do that? Yeah, you should just jump into a fucking pool of nails. You should go swimming in a volcano, right? You should fucking cut your arms and pour salt on it, and you should drink some acid. Yeah, dude. Fucking hell yeah, dude. It's lit. It's fucking awesome, bro. Investor Bros, it's lit. I love it. No worries, man. Yeah, just for you, man. Crazy.
So that the hobby loses a lot of its whimsy. That's the word that I'm going to use to describe it. But it loses that magic, you know. It becomes very corporatized, you know. There was a time when there was a rusticness to the hobby. There was a genuine feeling of fun and whimsy. Again, like I'm using that word again, is how I would like to describe it. And that feeling is really disappearing because of how heavily the hobby has been monetized and corporatized.
No, Franco, in Jake's defense, I feel him a little bit here. Like, that part of me is dead. That it is dead. Like, I think back to 2021 and 2022 JLUV and like the box opening videos, you know, the Japanese naming, the etymology. It's dead. That guy's fucking gone, bro. Because I'm just like, I don't want to make this, and I don't think anybody wants to watch this outside of like 10 people. So if I don't want to make it, I can't force myself to make it. I'm sorry, as much as I am for that group, as big or as small as they are. He's dead. And Joe Jonas fucking killed him, and Tom Brady fucking killed him, and fucking Momo killed him, and fucking the guy from Squid Games killed him. He's fucking dead, dude. Like, he's fucking gone. Natalie Rouge fucking killed him, bro. Those OnlyFans girls that came in killed him. The ones that are like, if I get a hit, I take off my clothes, killed him. He's fucking dead, dude. He's gone, bro. So, like, he's right. Jake's right. I'm not getting donut. No, in this, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, in a 20-minute Jake video, 2 out of 563 things he says will be correct and, like, based. But the other 561 are gonna fucking make you think that he is funded by that he like, I don't want to fucking say, I want to say some crazy ass shit, but I don't want to sound mean. But it'll make you fucking think twice. It'll make you ask, was Jake in the emails, bro? Because this is fucking crazy. I go to the bathroom. Give me a second. All right, I'm back. I really had to go, bro. That's crazy. Oh man. What were we saying? Okay, let's keep going.
And I get it. I absolutely feel it too. And it's a real challenge, you know. If you don't enjoy that, it sucks it dry, because it feels like your hobby has been pirated, overtaken, or captured, you know. Someone has taken over the hobby and it's changed into a monster that you don't really remember anymore. Like, this feels like a friend that you used to hang out with, and now they've completely changed into something that you don't enjoy. So again, like, that's a massive challenge to deal with. That's not all. Because of the heavy corporatization and monetization of the hobby, a lot of card prices has been jacked through the roof. Pokemon card prices have not been at retail price for over basically 2 years now.
So, like, what I don't get is if he is cognizant of the fact that Pokemon cards are expensive, more expensive than ever before, therefore inaccessible, why does he talk about accessibility being better than ever before? I just don't get it. Like, I don't want to sit here and call him a hypocrite all day, but the video is confusing because in the video, he contradicts himself. So what are we actually trying to say? What is the message here? Like I said, I feel like the video started so strongly, but fell apart when he started talking about these things that don't actually make sense. And if you've been collecting for more than 6 or 12 months, you are aware of. It's really crazy. I'm not going to lie. I actually feel like, I'm not going to lie, man. I actually feel like he is being paid under the table, but by who and for what reason, I don't know. You gotta share the files, Jake. We need to understand. There needs to be some transparency. Who put you up to this? Are you in danger? Is this some kind of like Hollywood humiliation ritual? Is the channel going to blow up to 1 million subs after this? How do I get in on it? I'll start saying crazy shit if that's what it takes. I'm down, bro. And if the paycheck is good enough, I'm there. That's crazy. I like the idea of off the top with TBJ because it's funny.
Which is a long time, and it doesn't seem like we're gonna reach like a real cooldown, like a true affordable prices again anytime in the near future. Like, we're seeing some cheap prices now. Like, I almost see perfect order booster boxes touching $160 to $165 a booster box, and there's a couple of ETBs that are reaching like $60 to $70. But a lot of products are still really expensive. A lot of singles are really expensive.
Do you guys remember like 5-7 years ago, Cosmic Eclipse? I know like it was 5-7 years ago, but even as far back as like 2021, you could get Cosmic Eclipse boxes for like less than $400, right? I don't know.
30th celebration.
I'm disappointed because I thought he was going to talk about more interesting things.
Is scalped through the roof. And so for the vast majority of collectors, like, I have not been able to buy any Pokemon card products at a Target or Walmart or Best Buy in basically 2 years. If I want to buy anything, I have to go to my local game store, like a true card shop, and I'm probably buying it for like a little bit below market, like whatever the store is able to sell them at. That is below market but still above retail. So it's like a weird middle ground, right? And that's about as good as I can do right now. And that's what the vast majority of people who are watching this video can do. None of us have access to cheaper card prices, and none of us are really seeing the benefit of the people joining the hobby. We're basically just seeing prices go up, and that just sucks because that's just a straight up bottom line, right? That just hurts your wallet, and no one enjoys that. Like, no one enjoys ripping open a brand new booster box at $250 a booster box. I would love to open the brand new Japanese set, Storm Emerald. I want to do a review video on it.
I don't get it. I'm lost, man. He lost me. Remember Paldea Evolved booster boxes being like 80. Don't worry, at least Perfect Order is almost Emma. I just want to ask him. Like, maybe I gotta get Jake on the stream. I'm gonna ask him. Jake, come on the stream. I gotta ask him. I need to know more about this video. I'm gonna upload this to the Apps channel, and I'm gonna make a short out of it. And I'm gonna ask him. I'm putting the pressure on. I'm not doing it to be mean. I'm not calling him names. I gotta understand. I just gotta understand. Come on the stream. I gotta ask a little bit more. I want to understand. I want to get in the brain of Jake. You know, I want him to just be raw. I want him to be raw, man. I want to get it. I'd love to. One reason why I wish it was easy to get to the States. Venom Inc. Holy shit. I just completely faded because I'm fucking stupid. Thank you for the 9 months. Thank you for the 9 months of Prime. You absolute legend. Thank you, Sylphnaut. Thank you for the numbers of support. Thank you, King. One reason why I wish I was in the States is that it would be so much easier to make videos and stuff, and how I could do all these things that I want to do. I would love to do a documentary or like interview with Jake in person. Yeah, I could do them online, but it's just not the same. You know what I mean? Like, I'd like to follow Jake around at a card show or something and just understand. I gotta get him on the stream, man. This is a crazy video. It started off so strong.
haven't been able to. And one of the reasons is that I just don't want to buy a booster box at like $170 a booster box. Like, that's really excessive, you know? That's like 4 times above retail price, and that's a Japanese booster box. Again, if you don't rip the Rayquaza, you're basically like massively in the hole, and that's not fun to be ripping open booster boxes at 4 or 5x retail price. And that's what we're seeing. Like the 30th celebrations ETB is like $180. No one wants to pay $180 for an ETB, regardless of what side or what feelings you have in the hobby. So that can be super frustrating. And last off, probably the biggest con of them all is just straight up, there are real crimes happening in the hobby. Card shops are being broken.
I don't care. I'm sorry. You lost me. This is not my problem. But I'm a hater. Maybe that's callous. I don't think this impacts us. Like, it doesn't impact us. Like, this doesn't impact you or I. There's always crime. Crime is like always existed. I don't think crime is the result of Joe Jonas opening a pack. I think this is a stretch. I think stores that have valuable things that are easy to move will get broken into. People's houses, whatever, anything. It does impact us because it makes prices high in aggregate. No, there's no, as a fucking professor, Kygers, where is the correlation? There is none. This is just an assumption. You're drawing lines and connecting dots that crime in general makes prices higher. You're generalizing though. No, you've lost me. This is, dude, the video started off so strong. Talk about fucking Natalie Roosh, dude. Talk about something that fucking matters. Talk about like LARPers. Like, it was so close.
Into every single day. Cards are being stolen from binder. Every time that there is a card show, there's always someone that is stealing cards from vendors, stealing cards from straight up kids' binders. Like, I've seen videos of grown adults.
Okay. Obviously, I think it's bad. I think crime is bad, and I think stealing stuff is bad. But there've always been people stealing stuff. There's always been crime. There've always been dickheads. So, I don't think this has anything to do with the rising corporatization of the hobby.
Just men who are looking through a kid's
Dude, what?
binder, videos of grown adults, like just men.
Hey. Not all men. Hashtag.
Who are looking through a kid's binder. They see the kid has like $100 card inside of their binder, and they just straight up steal it. Like, stealing cards from kids
I ain't doing
is
that.
so morally and ethically wrong. Like, that's where we're
Obviously.
at as a hobby. And the reason why they're doing that is because of the value and the prices on these cards. They're too tempting. Like, card prices are so...
Slow the fuck down. I'm fucking... What? You could say this about anything. I could walk into a jewelry store and punch the fucking cabinet open and take it because the gold is valuable. That doesn't mean I'm going to fucking do it. This is not because Pokemon cards are popular. It's just because people fucking like to steal shit. This is crazy.
expensive. And these people are so desperate for value, you know? Like, breaking into a card shop seems like...
It's a product of card store security not being strong enough, maybe? Like, okay, why don't you see stories on the news about jewelry shops being broken into? Like, why don't you see stories about jewelry stores being broken into? When's the last time you saw or heard about a jewelry store getting broken into? How the fuck am I victim blaming? I didn't say it was their fault. GTA. Yeah, you can't answer me. That's right, you can't fucking answer me. Idiots. That's toxic. Yes, because the security is ridiculous at those things. So if we're making so much money, right? If we're making so much money out of Pokemon cards, why aren't these stores like absolutely fucking beefing up the security and putting like turrets and shit? 2 reasons. 1, laziness. 2, Don't want to spend the money. 3, maybe it's an inside job. It's an insurance job. I don't know. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying there's at least 2 or 3 reasons. You don't see jewelry, like jewelry is just as liquid as Pokemon cards, arguably more liquid, because if the person is stealing slabs, well, they have certs on them and they got to crack them if they want to sell them as raws. So, and when a jewelry store gets broken into, you don't see someone post, "Hey, have you seen this Rolex? Have you seen this necklace? Please alert us if you have." No, but you see a million. Hey, if you see somebody selling a fucking, a fucking Masaki Gengar and it's got this holo pattern, it's GG, dude. That guy's gone. That's going to hit social media like fucking within 24 hours. Diamonds have certs. Does gold have certs? What if you melt the gold? Where does the cert go? Well, I guess it does make sense that diamonds have certs. But how do you engrave the cert on the diamond? Nah, that's cap. There's no way. Really? That's fucking crazy. Dude, I love streaming. You learn something new every day. A laser inside? With a laser? Where did you guys go to school? I did not learn this. What video did you watch? You learned this off YouTube Shorts, didn't you? There's no way you fucking learned this of your own volition. This was fucking sent to you in a reel. I think it's also because crimes in card stores surged in the recent years. So many shops are not prepared enough, or maybe the thought never crossed their mind. Yeah, I flagged that. I put that in the laziness category. Diamond shops talk about it. That's crazy. All right, you learn something new every day.
Like,
there's no way that his last topic is crime and it's the next 5 minutes.
a legitimate value proposition, which is crazy. There are people out there that would love to steal cards right now, and that is insane to me. Like, these are real crimes, and it's happening every single day. Like, the amount of criminal activities related to the hobby that has been happening has exploded. Like, there's so much criminal activity, whether it's like money laundering, theft, petty crime, violence, physical violence. There's been people that have been stabbed and attacked and mugged in the hobby. Like, vendors actually joke about it, but they all talk about how do they need to be carrying around firearms or sidearms just for protection right now. Like, that's just ridiculous talk, right? But I would say that's like the biggest thing that is actually really hurting the hobby, is truly like the amount of criminal activities that's involved, because a pallet of Pokemon cards is worth like 70 grand right now. So
okay, so again, I'm not victim blaming, but I do think a lot of that comes down to laziness, and I don't want that to come, like, you got to just fucking hear me out, all right? So do they need to carry firearms? I don't know. I don't want to go down that road, but do they need better security? I want to say yes. And that's not because brands are corporatizing, or creators or influencers are corporatizing the hobby. That's because cards are more expensive. I guess in a way you can you can argue and like do the mental gymnastics to say, but because cards are more popular because of those people, therefore the prices are now higher, and therefore inadvertently it is partially their fault. But that is such a stretch to say it's because of Joe Jonas or it's because of Momo. Like, that's just got to do with blanket popularity and things going viral, right? The reason why I think a lot of these vendors or card stores are probably getting targeted, or like a reason why, is because you don't see, again, I'm going to keep using the fucking jewelry example, right? It's not like there's, or they probably are, but like jewelry conventions, they're not fucking, I've been to card shows and I've been behind the scenes of card shows in Australia. This is the security. This is the rundown of how it works. Drive to the venue, park your car. Sometimes there's a loading bay, sometimes there isn't. Get there before the show starts, either the night before or 2 hours before on the day. Set out your inventory, your cabinets, your cards. That's it. You're at the show. You're walking either in a loading bay with a high-vis, like a yellow vest on, or you're parked in the car park and you're going through like the visitor path to the convention room. Like, you're not going through a back door. You're going through the path that everybody else does. So you're with the general public or anybody else who has access to that space. Like, that is a massive vulnerability. At any point between your car getting parked and you going into the actual show hall, you can get robbed unless you have a security outfit with you. So maybe if it's that big of a concern, these people should have a security outfit with them moving from loading bay or car park to the show floor. Or the card show runners themselves need to provide that as an option for people or the vendors coming to the shows, which would then inadvertently put the price of the shows up because they're going to pay for a fucking security outfit for most people, but at least things would be safer. But because nobody is doing that, that is why I say it's laziness, because it is a big issue. People are getting robbed because this stuff is worth money, but there is a way to prevent it or mitigate it. And I know from my experience that when I see it here in Australia, not enough is being done to mitigate or prevent it. Yeah, Franco, that's a really good point. I'm not going to lie. Like, everybody's got a bit of blood on their hands. Everybody, from the drama farmers to people like me to people like Jake to your poker revs, like everybody in some capacity has got a role to play in this space, and is culpable and has in some way impacted the space for the worse. It's just that everybody's at different levels. You rob a jewelry convention, you have the Mossad after you. I think Jake literally forgot what the video he's making is about. I think so too.
There are actual criminals out there that would love to steal a pallet of Pokemon cards. And it's everyone related in the hobby, right? There are people out there like McDonald's worker or museum workers or people that have access to promo cards like universities. So whenever there is a promotion for a One Piece or Pokemon card that's currently happening, when they get a box of cards, they're just straight up taking it off the table. Why? Because that box of promo cards is worth so much money that it's tempting them to take it off the table. Like there's been criminal cases related to the Great Felt Hat Pikachu. Whenever I go to a card show, I still see a ton of British guys who use the on-the-ball promo cards that should have been given out to kids, stacks of them, like stacks of these on-the-ball promo cards as currency or trades because they are incredibly lucrative. And obviously, those should have been passed out to kids like years ago. No one should be having access to like large stacks of readily available promo cards that should have been distributed years ago. No, that was absolutely taken off the table.
That's a big fucking claim. And it's also just like a random gigabanger fucking lore drop that Jake snuck into the last half of this video. I want to know more about this on the ball fucking stash and the British guys. Who are these guys? That is a fucking crazy segment. Dude just like went on these random British guys.
Cases related to the Great Felt Hat Pikachu. Whenever I go to a card show, I still see a ton of British guys who use the on-the-ball promo cards that should have been given out to kids, stacks of them, like stacks of these on-the-ball promo cards as currency or trades because they are incredibly lucrative. And obviously, those should have been passed out to kids like years ago. No one should be having access to like large stacks of readily available promo cards that should have been distributed years ago. No, that was absolutely taken off the table. And this is happening for pretty much all of these promos, like McDonald's promos, museum promos, all of these kinds of promotional activities where the cards are worth hundreds and hundreds and hundreds or thousands of dollars, which I think is the most frustrating part of just the amount of corporatization of the hobby right now. So that pretty much covers at least my thoughts on it. There are pros to it, but at the same time, there's a ton of cons. I think for the vast majority of viewers, you're going to say like, yeah, this is just way worse. Like I prefer things 2 or 3 years ago, or even 4 years ago, or 6 years ago compared to where they are today, Jake. And, you know, I can't really disagree with you, but at the same time, those days from 6 years ago are gone. And this is where the hobby is currently at. You know, I think this is going to absolutely rub some people the wrong way in terms of where the hobby is currently at. And there are people that are going to leave the hobby. And I don't disagree with that. I think everyone has the ability to make their own decision. What I can say is that because of how mainstream the hobby has gone, because of how many people have joined the hobby, we're going to see a lot more people join. There are a lot of people that weren't that big into collecting a couple of years ago that are still joining. Like the hobby is still absolutely growing, which is kind of insane. So if you've got some cards that you think are really, really cool right now, they're probably going to be even cooler in 2 or 3 years, if you can believe that's even possible. So yeah,
it's a fucking red flag. If it's cool now, it'll be as cool in 2 years. Why? Because it's going to be worth more money. I think it means because the card got more expensive, it became cooler.
That's where I think collecting a couple of years ago, hobby, we're going to see a lot more people join. There are a lot of people that weren't that big into collecting a couple of years ago that are still joining. Like the hobby is still absolutely growing, which is kind of insane. So if you've got some cards that you think are really, really cool right now, they're probably going to be even cooler in 2 or 3 years, if you can believe that's even possible. So yeah, that's where I think the outlooks of the hobby is going to go for the next couple of years. Let me know what your thoughts are. Again, like I think this is like a super complex topic, and I'm not even sure if I'm doing it good justice, but I want to at least give it a shot. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts are, and I'll see you guys next time.
I don't think you did, dude. I think you left a lot on the table. I do like that song, whatever that is. Jake, I think you started off strong, but then went off the deep end. I would love to talk to you more about these topics on stream. Would you be interested? Thank you. Huge fan as always. Your #1 fan. I think I did this once, and then Opossum Bud made a video about it. Let's see if he makes another video about it soon. Fucking hell. It just, the first 5 minutes started off so strong, and then he just went. Alright, let's have a look at the comments. I love comments. How good are comments?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Jake
Hello.
here, and welcome.
Is Franco here? I bet you Franco's here. Oh, look, my favorite. Okay. Reminds me of the bull run. I'm not saying it's the same, but all I know is most of these people will be dead silent when things correct. Celebrities will make more people jump into the hobby. Fire. The hobby has never been more fun or profitable. Crazy that something can be both. Crazy how people complain so much when their collections went parabolic. Well, it just, okay, I see this a lot. I see this comment a lot. Like, you should be happy. Well, it's really an indicator of where and how you derive your happiness. Do you derive your happiness from currency and value and money in life in general? If so, yeah, you probably be happy. If you source happiness from other areas, other places, then your collection getting more expensive won't change any of it. Is it nice? Of course. And does it help if you're in a pinch? Yeah. But if you're financially stable and you're just trying to like do something in the short, 80 years that you have or whatever, it doesn't matter to a lot. It really doesn't matter to a lot of people. The value of my collection going up means it's hard to build my collection, genius. This guy's fucking funny. I like that guy. I think in like a year, once 30th settles, everything comes down to like a step above 2022 times. Probably available at Emma, and prices should stabilize, but there will be a new floor for a lot of cards and product after all this. Maybe just wishful thinking, but we've seen this before, just at a smaller level. Yeah. When you open that Focus Fighters collection, so true, surprised you didn't have your collector hat on for this particular video. I blame apps that have pivoted the focus of the hobby from rarity and chase to value money. That has attracted investors and emphasized the wrong part of the hobby. he heart reacts, but he takes the sponsorships. And it's difficult to take sponsorships in this space. It really is. Especially if you're trying to, you know, build your channel and like fund other bigger ideas and interesting ideas you have, because it's slim pickings. It's actually insane that in the card niche that like a lot of sponsorship or brand opportunities would be considered toxic by parts of the space, justifiably so. I know people always say sell out when people take brand deals, but it's difficult. But I think there are some that are much worse than others. The funniest part is that the community actually listens to these know-nothings. The truth is, a lot of these wealthy people are joining so they can launder their money. And yeah, I mean, I feel like Tom Brady opening up 20 or 25 card stores is not organic interest in the space. I agree with this. I'd love to learn, and I'd love to like investigate and get and research more about this and connect the dots like Crazy Man style. But my off the cuff hot take is yes, I agree with this guy. Jake, you're honestly the biggest hypocrite. You told everyone how it's so dumb to have other people open your own packs. You said they should open their own packs because that's the most fun part of collecting Pokemon cards. I agree, but a few months later, you changed your tune and started telling people that they should let others open their packs. Your reason was because it brings the community together, although you left out that Whatnot knocked on your door to be a rip and shipper. So you hate rip and shippers until it benefits you. Damn, this guy's got the fucking receipts. Franco, we found your account. You defend known scammers like Logan Paul. That is a big fucking, that is a red flag. Like if you cape or defend Logan Paul in any capacity, that is a giga red flag. You claim he was playing a character, a heel, because he's in the WWE. No, that guy's just the POS. Clearly you haven't seen Logan Paul in WWE. Logan can't cut a promo to save his life. Damn, he just heart reacted. Dude, this is crazy. Everyone knows you live in LV, knows what you look like and your name. I don't recommend people coming after you, but it won't surprise me to turn on YouTube and see that you got robbed. Nobody would be sad. Whoa, this guy's fucking evil. Heart reacts. What? I wouldn't be fucking heart reacting this. I'd be fucking calling the police, dude. Yeah, he did not fucking read that, dude. He did not fucking read that. No, we found Franco's account, dude. I feel like I've seen this guy on YouTube before. Oh, I've seen this guy. This is the guy that makes the hate videos. Man, I like this guy. In fact, I'm subscribing right now. I'm actually too scared to click this button, but I'll think about it. Please don't come after me. Please don't come after me. Please don't come after me. I'll think about it. I'll in my private time when I got a bit of a break. We got a busy schedule today. Interesting video, Jake. Hopefully he replies. Okay, what do we want to do now? Do we want to go down? I feel like I've had enough. Let's just fucking dip our toes. Hey?
Is Logan Paul your
What
best
do you
friend? Dude, Card Lounge Podcast. I'm here with my stylish co-host.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Robo.
And, dude, you lied to me. I thought I was your best friend, but it turns out, is Logan Paul your best friend?
What do you mean? Logan Paul, is he my best friend?
I saw you guys hanging out together live at the Golden Rip. Is that what it was?
Yeah. It was, I guess he just put out his video where he did the recap of like peeling the glossy Pikachu and the glossy Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
That was at the national box break where they did the first edition Pokemon box break and then the basketball cards where you can pull the rookie Jordan.
Which they pulled a couple of rookie Jordan. They also pulled a first edition base set Charizard. This was apparently a big deal because like the first one that's been ripped in like 4 or 5 years of dry streak of no first edition Charizard.
Yeah, I don't know if he's speaking specific.
Dude, I would die.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Jake and dude, you lied to me.
My best friend.
I saw you guys hanging out together live at the Golden Rip. Is that what it was?
Yeah. It was.
I would die, bro. Like if there was a photo like this that existed of me out there, I'd end it all, bro. This is like generational aura loss. Like this is like you cannot recover from this. Like they got a photo of you right behind Logan Paul, the biggest grifter, one of the most hated people on the internet. This is like being in a photo. This is like fucking. You know what photo this is like? It's like this. This is like this photo, dude. That's what that is like, dude. That's like this, bro. Like, strip it from the internet, bro. You cannot, nah, man. That's like crazy, bro. You cannot fucking be getting that as a photo, dude. It's not a fucking flex, dude. That's fucking crazy. That's fucking this photo, bro. That's this photo, dude. That's what that is, dude. That's fucking crazy, bro. You tell me that isn't. Robo, if you're watching, tell me how it isn't. It's not good. I'm not insinuating that you went to the island or anything like that. What I'm saying is you are standing next to a reprehensible, terrible person. Okay? It's not a good thing. Okay? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything about being sus or going to the island or the emails. I'm saying it's like standing next to a really, really hated person. Okay? It's not a good look. It's going to raise a few eyebrows. Got to make that clear. If there's a response video about how that was in bad taste, please just include this bit. And hopefully that'll soften the blow. I feel like most people would laugh at a joke like that, right?
I guess he just put out his video where he's chill enough. You know, I know he's a very divisive character online, and you know, because of all of his endeavors. Yeah, he got slapped by Tom Brady. Was that actually?
Yeah, he fucking. You remember when he went to the suicide forest?
My little pickle.
And he took a photo of a dead body in a YouTube video. That was crazy.
Have a nice day.
That was crazy. True. Fucking hell, bro. How did we like rewrite? What? How did like Logan Paul just fucking everything just get rewritten, man? It's crazy. Benny, thank you for the prime. Good to see you, Benny. Thanks for coming down. Divisive is not how I would describe Logan Paul. He just sucks. Yeah, exactly. Light. Benny, thank you again. Thank you very much for the prime. I appreciate you throwing that here. First time sub. You're a legend, boss. Good to have you here on a Sunday.
The National? No. I think that was at the last event. I think that was at Fanatics Fest. But he did say, he was like, "Hey man, you make some really good content." Was talking about
Logan's a lounger, guys. He's a card lounger.
Yeah. He basically let me know that he watches Card Lounge, so that's cool. And I feel like so many people I met at the National told me that, where from the prior year, I think we had just started. Maybe we were like 15, 20 episodes in.
Yeah.
But now with a whole year's worth of, podcasts under our belt, it's kind of crazy how many people, even from, the National being so sports card side focused, still tune into Card Lounge. So.
You know what? I was thinking about this the other day, and it really is interesting how collecting really is, because there's so many people out there, and I see them, in your comment section, my comment section, the Card Lounge comment section, or following us. But
I'm bored. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I need to just sit down and listen to one of these in my own time. I really just can't do it. Yeah. Hello, Soccer Tour. I can't do this. I'm sorry. There's not as much to work with here. I want to watch that haters video about Opossum. I don't. I think some of these videos are going to be screened. And that is one I would definitely like to screen. Actually, there were some good. There's a good one I had here. Okay, this is one that somebody shared this in the Discord. So this is one I think that Piggy shared.
Every Pokemon collector should have these cards. And I'm not talking about the one. This is known as a rookie card. This is when they were first. Not all rookie full art cards are very expensive.
Hang on, is it glitching?
Should have these cards.
Okay, it's glitching. All right.
This Espeon from Sun and Moon. This Espeon ranges from about 10.
Wait, is it glitching?
And is the first time it was ever introduced as a full art. Of course, there are other cases like this Ho-Ho from Dragons Exalted. This costs around 100. Of course, we can get into the big boys like the Charizard. The first time it was ever introduced as a full art was in Flashfire, and this card is about $150. Rayquaza from Dragons Exalted as well as a $200 card. Mewtwo, by the way, was around $100. But then there's Venusaur from Evolutions at around 20 to 30 bucks. And this amazing Pikachu art from Generations. This card is around $40, which is insane. It's been going up though. Amazing Balloon Gengar. This is a very expensive card from Phantom Forces, but it's the first time Gengar was ever introduced as a full art in English. So I think this is a must-have card. And then of course we finish it up with Mew. Mew from Generations. This card is around $100, so it's decently cheap for a Mew as the first time ever as a full art. I think this card is amazing. But yeah. But I want to know, if you were to pick up a first time full art from any Pokemon, which Pokemon would that be? But yeah, follow me and I'll keep you updated with everything related to TCGs, Pokemon, and collecting, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. This Espeon from Sun and Moon. This Espeon range.
What the fuck is the editing? I'm fucking tripping out. What? Good night, Patty. Thanks for hanging out, Patty. I'm fucking so confused, bro. That Pikachu is like 150. 40 would be great as a comic. The Blastoise and Venusaur from. Did this guy just like? Who is this guy? Lola, stop it. I think people are just, this is why I said this a few streams ago. You don't have to post. You know what I'm saying? Like, leave it in the drafts. Sometimes it's better to just leave it in the drafts. You don't always have to post. I think is he saying that because these are their first appearances full arts that they're like rookie cards? But that's not how it works. Rookie cards, it's like their first card would be their rookie card. Like their first ever card from like 30 years ago would be the rookie card. So how can these be rookie cards? He's just making stuff up. Again, you don't always have to post. It's okay, Edgy Rips. You don't have to post all the time. This is going to be a controversial take. Not everybody needs to become a content creator or influencer. I don't think we need everyone in the world to become one. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just saying that because like I don't want more competition. I just think you don't have, like, not everyone has to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, now there's real hater energy coming from me, but it's not hater energy. It's more like, what are we adding versus what are we taking?
Pussyo, My Little Pickle, Kombucha, D's Nuts. Have a nice day.
I'm thinking of becoming a content creator, influencer. Wait, never mind. B-Pix, don't quit your day job, especially before I get your lunch. Thank you for 42 months of Prime. I still owe you lunch. I'm thinking maybe in 2 weeks. Maybe. You tell me. We should just go hang out with Perry. We need a third party neutral. We need a mediator. It is a lot of noise.
Pussyo, My Little
It is a
Pickle,
lot of noise.
Kombucha, D's Nuts. Have a nice day.
Hernando, thank you for the Prime. Thank you for the 9 months, King. Dude, I'm getting everybody's Prime today. You guys are the best. I'm the special streamer you pick every month. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Hernando. Appreciate the support, King. Hope you've been well. Yeah, Piggy, I swear, you found some fucking sleep paralysis demon content. What's up, Bernie? Good to see you, King. This was another one that someone posted in the Discord. I haven't watched this. Well, actually, we should read it. Another day, another batch of people racing to make a line at 10 p.m. the night before. Crazy part is many of these people are back again every week. First in line every time. The cycle continues. Is this real? Do people actually do this? Are they not lining up to line up? Nah, this has got to be a bit. Nah, that's got to be a bit. Hang on, wouldn't... Okay, this guy's like all tactical in the red shorts, but wouldn't the most strategic position to run from not be closer, you know, more north? If we're saying that the target is east, wouldn't it be more like, wouldn't it be optimal to run from the north into the line? He's just running into the line that he's already in. They're already in line. This is the pre-line for the line. They ran to line up, but they were already lining up to run. Therefore, there's two lines. There's no displacement. They literally ran in the same order. They finished where they started. It's insane. This has got to be a bit. It has to be a bit. There's no way this is real. They're all paid actors, man. I'm fucking astounded. That is genuinely fucking crazy. Oh, Jake hearted my comment. What did he say?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Jake here, and welcome.
Senpai noticed me. Bro, don't just heart react it. Do something. Damn me. What the hell? He just heart reacted me. He just fucking heart reacted me, bro. He just fucking left me on red. That's fucked up, bro. I'm going on. I don't care if I'm going to end up on double red, bro. I don't care if he double reads me. I'm fucking... No, you can't just heart react to me and then walk away. Yeah, he literally said I'm fucking busy, bro. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. It's crazy out here. Opossum is 100% making the video now. He is yeah, look. At this point, Opossum needs to just make a fucking playlist like the JLUV fucking files, bro. There's like 5 videos there already. Just add it, man. That's fucking crazy. I saw this video from Sleeve No Card Behind. I thought this would be interesting. Something a little bit different. Maybe we could just watch something genuinely good. Sleeve makes good, high quality content that's thoughtful and scripted and doesn't go off the fucking deep end randomly. So I feel like this could be quite interesting to watch. Let's watch it.
The Pokemon card market feels random. One card sells for a few dollars, another version of the same card sells for thousands, and a box sitting untouched in someone's closet can outperform the stock market. But none of this is actually random. Pokemon cards follow 7 surprisingly simple rules, and once you understand them, the entire hobby starts to look different.
That's a nice intro.
The first rule is that collectors respond to incentives. Now, obviously, we respond to things like beautiful artwork and nostalgia. That's why I'm obsessed with this Meowth. But collectors also respond to sudden price increases, conditional rarity, chase cards, and whatever else is blowing up on social media right now. The best real-world example here is probably the recent grading boom. We hit a ridiculous point in the hobby where any card that got a PSA 10 would sell for a multiple, and this created a powerful incentive. If grading one copy could provide a decent profit, why not grade 10, 20, 100, 1,000? Soon, collectors weren't submitting only rare vintage cards, they were submitting everything. Bulk cards, energy cards, and just any random card with a Pokemon on it. People were being rewarded for turning raw cards into slabs. It's easy to blame resellers for this, but all collectors were responding to the same incentive.
Do you know anybody that bought those cards? Like, I feel like nobody really I know jumped in on that. I don't think I know anybody that did, but like Ludwig did. Ludwig bought a Gold Star Greninja 10. I would like to meet these people doing this. I'm trying to think of an example, like a moment where I did that. I mean, I guess like the closest example is the Zard that I was talking about last stream. I would also like to meet Ludwig. See ya, Kai, because that's why we keep you around. That's funny. And the Charizard VMAX, the Chinese one. But I don't even think that. I mean, that was just because Beanie spoke about it in the Discord. Like, honestly, hot take. Actually, no, base take. I think that when that Gold Star Greninja pumped, it was not people buying it. It was repackers and mystery bag makers, right? Buying these to put them in the slabs. That's what I think. Because it became a chase. People wanted it. I think people want it and wanted it as a 10. But I think most people were smart enough not to buy this in a 10.
The rare vintage cards, they were submitting everything. Bulk cards, energy cards, and just any random card with a Pokemon on. Also,
random lore drop, but I think a lot of what happened with that card was closely timed to Masakazu Fukuda being in France, in Paris, for the card gala. I think that's what it's called. And there being like an in-person Fukuda event. Because around that time, a lot of Fukuda cards started pumping. And then once that event came and went, it kind of like, the Fukuda hype kind of like died. So I think that had a part to play. People were trying to buy good quality, raw or slabbed Fukuda cards to take to the event to get them signed, potentially.
People were being rewarded for turning raw cards into slabs. It's easy to blame resellers for this, but all collectors were responding to the same incentive. Slabs became readily available for everyone at any price. I'm not even that interested in grading, but I had to pick up this Bulbasaur. It was only 30 bucks. No one needed to organize this. Consumers saw the reward and responded to it. The same thing happens when a card starts shooting.
Just quietly, that's a junk slab, but you like what you like. Why do you have to pick it up? Who knows? Collectors' brains work in interesting ways, but it's a junk slab. It's a card that came from Classic Collection, the Japanese version, of which they ended up printing to order. It is a nice looking card, but I think it's only valuable because slabs became valuable, and I think there's a lack of education around what those cards actually are.
Up in price. You'd think that a higher price would lower the demand, but collectibles can behave differently. A rapidly rising price can attract attention. Investors want to get it so they can secure a profit, and collectors want it before it's unaffordable, which raises prices again and again. This is what happened with the Gold Star cards. Gold stars blew up because people wanted them, and more people. The gold raises so they can secure a profit, and collectors want attention. Investors want to get it so they can secure a profit, and collectors want it before it's unaffordable, which raises prices again and again. This is what happened with the gold star cards. Gold stars blew up because people wanted them, and more people wanted them because they were blowing up. Now, this doesn't mean that collectors are a bunch of mindless sheep following the herd.
I don't want to like speak too much because I feel like he's going to circle back to a lot of these topics in a second. But I think for cards like the gold stars, it's a little bit different because cards like the gold stars are inaccessible to 98% of Pokemon card collectors. They're cards that only the top 2% of Pokemon card collectors can realistically afford. They're the kind of videos that you see like resellers and vendors, or vendors primarily, throw around their videos as inventory because they can afford to buy them and fuck around with them because they're stock.
It means the environment changes our decisions. Here's the key takeaway.
I think this topic is too hard to like there's no science behind this. You know? Sentient Ski, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream.
If buying now appears to offer a reward and waiting appears to carry a penalty, more collectors are going to hit that buy now button. Before moving on to the next rule, how can we remember
I mean, I guess that's just FOMO, yeah.
this and use it to our advantage? Learn to identify the incentive before making a purchase. Ask yourself, do I want this card or am I responding to the incentives surrounding it?
You should have gone in more on that topic. That's basically like, why are you buying the card? Are you buying it because you want it or because other people want it or because it's got value? You should have, yeah. Go in more on that.
Now the second rule, every card has an opportunity cost. Imagine you have $300 to spend on cards. You can buy a booster box, a nice card, multiple less expensive cards, or save the money toward a single chase card that you actually want. You cannot do all four. The moment you choose one, you give up on the others. This is opportunity cost. The real cost of the purchase isn't the dollar amount you spent, it's the best alternative that money could have purchased instead. This is most often applied to sealed product. If you buy the booster box, you're giving up a guaranteed card that you actually want. But there's no wrong choice here because they offer two different value propositions. Buying the single gives you certainty. Opening the booster box gives you an experience, suspense, excitement. The problem is when collectors expect one purchase to provide both value propositions. Most of the time, it doesn't. Opportunity cost also explains why some collectors can spend constantly without making any progress. Picking up a quick booster pack feels cheap, but 20 booster packs over time adds up. The real cost of those booster packs is now the $200 card that you now believe you can't afford. This applies to entire collections. I often advise that people stop randomly collecting and set goals. Instead of buying every new set that comes out, choose one set or one Pokemon or a theme. And the foundation of this idea is opportunity cost.
I guess. Why'd you turn emote only mode on? Look, I don't know, like, yeah, I guess. That's why we always say, I mean, it is good advice. It's not bad advice. There's advice, I gave this advice to my buddy the other day when he was crying because he couldn't get OP17. I just said, just save your money and buy the singles, bro.
Sometimes I dream about selling my entire collection to buy the trophy Kangaskhan, but I can't have both. So the next time you're making a purchase, don't just ask, can I afford this? Ask yourself, what am I choosing not to collect instead? Every time you add a new card to your collection, you're quietly deciding which cards won't be added next.
Yeah. I feel like this video maybe should have been called like how to start collecting or like 7 tips to start collecting, but Once you learn economics, you can't be manipulated anymore is a better title in the thumbnail combo. I was hoping for more. Maybe there's more.
Third
Maybe there's
lesson
more.
is prices are messages. When you see a card listed for $500, then you would naturally assume that it's worth about $500. But a listing or a price tag doesn't tell you what the buyer has agreed upon, it just tells you what the seller hopes to get. A completed sale provides a stronger data point because both the buyer and seller have agreed upon a number. But even then, a single sale is not reliable. The specific card could have been damaged. Perhaps there was a bidding war and it sold for way above average, or maybe the entire thing was faked as an attempt to pump the market. That's why a card's value is better understood as a range built from multiple sales. We see card
That's pretty
prices
good advice.
fluctuate, but it's important to remember that range. If that range rises, that's communicating that a factor has changed. Perhaps demand has increased or fewer collectors are willing to sell, lowering the available supply. Maybe that Pokemon, artist, or set suddenly got popular. This is also why multiple cards with the same rarity demand vastly different prices.
This is probably like the best
Rarity
point.
describes supply, but that's only part of the equation.
Yeah, actually, that's actually a really good point. I've got a video, I got a stream in the drafts that touches on a lot of these topics. That is a really good one. I will be borrowing that. I will be borrowing that sleeve. If you see me mention this at a stream soon. This is good advice I think if you're new to collecting in general. But this is a lot of stuff that you can use as a vendor to capitalize on buying low and selling high.
If the card is not popular, it can remain
And I guess that's the issue. Just for the record, I don't think sleeve no card behind is being malicious. Has malicious intent behind this video. But this is an example of where someone who does something for the love of the game, it can potentially be used against the thing that they like. Not that I think that is grounds for not making a video like this. I think this is a good video to make. It's just that there are capitalistic people out there that will take advantage of it.
expensive. For example, check out this mug. There's only about 12 of these in the entire world, less than the Pikachu Illustrator, and yet it's worth significantly less because of low demand. But on the other hand, the Mega Gengar EX is a pretty pricey card, despite there being hundreds of thousands of copies in circulation. Condition creates another layer to this. A card might be easy to find overall, but nearly impossible to find without whitening, surface scratches, or perfect centering. This is called conditional rarity, and we'll talk more about it later. But the price, that price range we established earlier, can't tell you how meaningful, beautiful, or historically important a card is. It only tells us what buyers and sellers are doing in the moment. So how do we actually apply this rule? The next time you see a high price tag, don't ask, how can this card be worth that much? Instead, ask, what is the price trying to tell me about supply, demand, and attention?
I feel like a better take there is, what actually is this card? So like if let's say that muck, right, is all of a sudden $500, and then you're like, why is it $500, right? If this is all of a sudden $500, I think probably the better angle is, what is this card? Go and look it up, Bubblepedia, whatever. Okay, it's just a card from Fossil. That should give you a very quick answer. Something weird is happening with this card that isn't organic. And you can do that for like a lot of promos and a lot of cards that pump randomly. And then you can learn something. But maybe I think that is kind of what he's basically saying at the end here when he says,
tell me about supply,
attention.
demand, and attention. The fourth rule is that selling a card has a cost. Let's say you pulled the new Chase card and recent eBay sales placed the market price at about $1,000. It can be tempting to think of it as a $1,000 bill ready to spend, but the two are not the same. Cash can be spent immediately, but a card must first be matched with a buyer, and that might require you to take photos, upload a listing, answer DMs, and maybe packaging and shipping. The marketplace, like eBay, will charge you selling fees, and there's also the risk that it gets lost in the mail or the buyer opens a dispute. So, even if the buyer paid $1,000, you as a seller are going to receive less and also take on some risk. Market price is what the buyer pays. Net value is what the seller keeps. This is also why a card shop or vendor will offer to buy your cards at 70% of their value. They aren't claiming that the market value is less, they're accepting the work and risk it will take to sell the cards. The cards might not sell or the prices could fall. A store has employees, vendors have fees. That 30% isn't all profit. Much of it will cover operating costs. Cards may also differ in how easily they are sold. A Charizard will probably sell pretty fast, but a Goldeen might sit until a collector who likes underwater cards happens to stop by.
I feel like vendors everywhere are just throwing their hats up in the air, celebrating at this being spoken about in a video from Sleeve. They're like, yes, finally, people will understand why we buy back at 70%. But what this is missing so far, I won't say. I want to see if he covers it. Well, actually, I will. I'll say what this is missing so far is that, yes, while a vendor buying at 70% is validated by their overheads, it doesn't take into account that the fact that we're in a massive bull market now that is on fire, and that almost always those cards are going to go up within a week or two as a result of just the Pokemon card floor rising in general. And then almost always, yes, like Formula 1 said, they do not sell at market. They sell above market. So it's not buy at 80 and sell at 100. It's buy at 70 and sell at 110. And that 110 sometimes gets bumped up another 10 or 20% from the buy price, leaving them with a fucking, they're making 50, between 30 to 50% profit off of whatever the card is, which is why it's so lucrative. It's a transaction that benefits one side much more than the other. The seller benefits from the liquidity. The vendor benefits from the profitability.
This is called liquidity. Market price will tell you how much a card will sell for. Liquidity tells you how easily it can become cash. This also explains why a sold listing on eBay is just a suggestion. The sold price is what the buyer paid, not what the seller received. eBay had to take a cut too. So when someone's bragging about their collector app portfolio being worth $10,000, that may accurately describe the combined market prices of their cards, but it doesn't mean they could sell the collection for $10,000. Finding buyers takes time, and selling a card has a cost. Before treating the market value like spendable cash, ask yourself, how much would I actually keep after finding a buyer and completing a transaction? What will the net value be? The fifth rule is that profits and losses shape what the Pokemon Company does next. Every product you see on the shelf is an experiment. Pokemon offers a vast array of different products featuring different characters, promos, accessories, figures, etc. And as consumers, we respond. If the product sells well, it generates profit. Profit sends a message to the Pokemon Company. Do more of this. If the product sits on shelves, they either change something or they make less of it.
It's not true. If that was true, we would have Stormember Elder be just a Gen 3 set, a sequel to Black Bolt White Flare. If that was true, we would have a Dream League style set every year. If that was true, we would have had high class sets be better than what they've been the last year or two. We spoke about this on Poker Card Talk. Look it up on YouTube and subscribe. But that's not necessarily true. This gives TPC and TPCI way too much credit. They are not a reactive company at all. They are very well set in their ways.
This explains why we see the same Pokemon over and over again. When we consistently spend money on sets with Charizard, Gengar, and Pikachu, we're justifying more future cards of those Pokemon. We may say that we have Charizard fatigue, or why do they have to put another Umbreon in this set? We just had an Umbreon, but big companies can't measure what we say. They measure what we buy. Every purchase becomes a vote for what they'll make next, and certain Pokemon keep winning the election. The same feedback shapes the card style and rarities. In Sword and Shield, we responded positively to the alt arts.
This, again, I think is just conjecture, but I'm not like, it's not a big deal. But I think it's a bit inaccurate. Because while I say like, oh, I wish that they would just make, they would be reactive and make Storm Emeralda be like a Gen 3 set because Black Bolt White Flare was so popular. In their defense, they do map out these sets well ahead of time and have a plan set in place for a lot of them that might be 1 to 2 years in advance. That's just based on interviews, the illustration magazine that spoke a little bit about creatures behind the scene process. So there's a lot involved. It's not as simple as just like, oh wait, 3 months ago, fucking, Pokemon Go sold well. Let's make more Pokemon Go alt arts. Because if that was the case, Sun and Moon arguably was one of the, 2018 for Pokemon cards in general, especially in Japan though, was very lucrative for Pokemon Japan, and it was very difficult to find cards in that period, and especially after Pokemon Go came out. So in that period, we saw a lot of special arts come out post Tag Bolt, and they were all very popular, and we got a very popular feature spread with Outta, where we had Outta draw all the GX cards, and everybody loved those. And then the first 4 to 5 sets of Sword and Shield were a massive step backwards, and we saw no alt arts until Rapid Strike and Single Strike Master, Chilling Reign. So it's not so much a diss, but more a clarification.
And ever since then, we've been offered more and more hyper-detailed illustrations. Gold cards were often frowned upon and unpopular, so they got a redesign with Mega Evolution. They're still sort of unpopular, but they're doing better now. Retailers, vendors, and even eBay stores respond to the same signals. If something sells fast, they will try to acquire more. If it does not sell, then they'll be less interested in stocking it. But the signal isn't perfect. A product or card might sell because collectors love it, or because they expect someone else to pay more for it down the line. Or sometimes the supply and...
I think this just like misses over the playability aspect as well. Like Evolving Skies, that period of sets weren't very popular. It wasn't until Brilliant Stars came out that people started really caring about V-Stars. That's because Arceus V-Star was such a good card. There's other factors there.
Demand relationship can work inversely. A good set might sell poorly, or appear to sell poorly, because too much was printed. Or a crappy set might feel rare because it was underprinted. Profits and losses tell companies what happened, but not always why it happened. However, the pattern is still hard to ignore. The products we vote for with our wallets influence the next products to be released. So, when people ask why they have to reprint the OG Charizard again for the 30th anniversary, well, it's because we voted on it during the 25th anniversary. Every purchase becomes a vote for what the Pokemon Company, resellers, retailers, and the hobby does next.
I think it's flawed. I think there's like elements of truth to it, but I think it's like kind of flawed just because everything is selling now. So that's impossible to gauge. Like literally everything is selling. And then the stuff that sells really good and the sets that were really good, we haven't seen them come back in that form again. Now we kind of just get like MASH sets. Sets like Thrastal and Mega Dream.
Just like how you guys responded well to my Pokemon card prices explained video by liking and subscribing. So that's why I made this economics video. See, when you like the video, you get more of that thing.
That is true.
Rule 6. Condition
like and subscribe.
creates its own kind of rarity.
Hey, like and subscribe. Wait, he did it. I'm doing it. Follow the chat and share the chat with your friend and follow and subscribe. JLUV Yaps. Yaps. That button doesn't even work. VODs, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Discord. I'm doing it. TikTok. Fuck yeah.
Copies of the exact same card. They came from the same set, the same year, from similar booster packs, but today one of them has whitening and light scratches while the other remains near mint. I touched on this earlier. It's called conditional rarity. These cards were equally rare when they were printed, but years later they no longer belong to equally scarce categories. The copy with whitening competes with most copies because most copies have whitening now. But the near mint copy only competes with the cards that were sleeved and protected and somehow avoided
condition
damage
impacts
all
value?
these years. The card has not become rarer, the condition has. Got it? Okay, so let's go deeper. There are several different types of scarcity. First is the manufactured rarity. This is how many cards were printed, the factor that the Pokemon Company actually does control. Inside the manufactured rarity is the surviving population. How many copies still exist after our moms give away our old collections? And then inside that is what we find as conditional rarity. Population reports add yet another number, but it's often misunderstood. Grading companies record how many copies of a card have been submitted to them, and that's it. That's all that number means. Sellers can extrapolate or draw conclusions in order to sell their card, but this is predatory, and I don't want you guys falling for it.
I need to listen to that again.
This is a number, and yes, it
You
represents
talking about pop
a
reports?
rarity. That's all that number means. Sellers can extrapolate or draw conclusions in order to sell their card, but this is predatory, and I don't want you guys falling for it. This is a number, and yes, it represents a rarity, but it carries the least weight. Finally, there's actual market availability. Many of the modern SIRs that are chased after are kind of hard to find at card shows. And something like the base set Charizard, you never see those for sale. Even though tens of thousands of Charizards have survived, their owners often aren't selling them, making them feel scarce in the market. Grading helps buyers navigate condition, but it does not create condition. A mint card was already mint before PSA farted on it and put it in a slab. The grading company provides confidence, and that confidence has value, but the label should never be confused with the actual card. Grading packages information about the condition. It does not create the condition. So the next time you see a graded card with a huge price tag, don't ask how rare is that card. Ask yourself how rare is that card in its current condition, and what condition would I be willing to collect?
It's good advice. I like it. That was the best point so far, I reckon. That's basically buy the card, not the grade, but fleshed out a little bit. And he told people to shut the fuck up about pop reports. Hello, Inza. Good to see you.
The seventh and final rule is that a fair trade doesn't always require equal prices. You might be surprised with where I'm going with this one. We've all made trades by adding up the dollar amount, but we've also made trades that aren't financially equivalent. This is because market value and personal value are different. Market value estimates what the general buyer will pay for a card, and personal value describes what that card can contribute to one specific collector. If you need a $45 card to complete your set and you trade a $50 card for it, that means you're sacrificing $5 to complete your goal, which honestly, if you've ever obtained the last card of a set, it feels way better than anything that $5 can buy. But this exists in the business world as well. If you bring your cards to a card shop or a vendor at a card show, they'll likely offer you 70% of the market value. This can feel yucky at first, but we already explored why.
Wait, what was that money? What money is that? Is that Canadian dollars? Because it's not American. Or is that American dollars? Is the guy Canadian? Not that it matters. Ah, it is Canadian. There you go. Not that it matters. It's like our money. It's like Monopoly money.
Shop or a vendor at a card show, they'll likely offer you 70% of the market value. This can feel yucky at first, but we already explored why this is standard practice. but both parties are happy, so it is a fair trade. But personal preference does not
Did he rewind that?
make happy, so it is a why this is standard practice. But both parties are happy, so it is a fair trade.
It felt like that was in reverse. I'm sorry.
But personal preference does not make deception acceptable. These unequal trades are only fair if both parties understand the difference between market value and personal value. I would never proceed in a trade if someone didn't understand the value of both sides. And the opposite of this can be true as well. Sometimes a trade can be unfair even when the dollar value is equal. Earlier this year, I traded my Latios Gold Star, but later regretted it. My brother pulled that card when we were kids, and I actually personally valued it higher than its market value. Market prices give collectors a common language, a starting point for negotiation. They can help us compare cards and sometimes recognize major imbalances, but market prices should never make the decision for us, as I led it with the Latios. The market can tell you what a general collector might pay for your
Because the money was too good, bro. It's the same thing every time, bro. I think that's crazy, but it's a canon event. Soccer Tour, it's a canon event. It happens to everybody. Well, how else are you going to afford Mega Gengar? EX.
card, but it can't tell you whether or not that card belongs in your collection. And that might be the biggest takeaway for this whole video. Pokemon card economics can explain why a card is scarce, why prices fluctuate, why there's a Charizard reprint every few years, but it has a limit. It can't explain why one specific card makes you feel the way you do. Understanding this market won't tell you what to collect, but it will help you identify the forces causing you and others to buy this or sell that. Prices measure demand, sales reward future products, and grading is a tool for information, but there is no way to quantify the nostalgia or feelings you get when you finally obtain your Grail card. No market data, no big company, no YouTube video can tell the story behind your collection. That has to be you. If you want to support me, become a channel member where I sometimes upload unfiltered thoughts, download and upgrade.
It was okay. I thought it was going to be more interesting in terms of like the economic components, or maybe like dive into like a few more like deeper topics. Maybe I'm going to be a hater and say his collection feels larpy. I don't know, man. It is definitely like
Pokemon card.
If we're going off of like, I mean, I think this is just backdrop. These cards like trigger feelings for people. Base set packs and slabs, yeah, I guess. I don't know, man. I gotta crack some more slabs, dude. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Maybe I'll crack some slabs tomorrow. I said on the Poker Card Talk podcast I'd crack the Alakazam, so I think I'm gonna do that. The one that I bought, the PSA 9. Some may say it's crazy, but I'm fucking doing it. I'll crack that slab tomorrow. The coins are the only genuine part, no value in that shit. I don't know, man. I mean, that Outta behind the page is looking kind of sweet. Oh, actually, what I want to know is how much is a Shaman, because I want to buy one. Does anybody have a Shaman EX, the gold one? Because I need it. I think it's too late for me. Holy fuck! I just pissed and shit myself. It's $1,000. Shit! A PSA 10 sold for $4,500. Sorry for my very harsh reaction, but god damn. One sold in July for $1,000. We gotta find a good copy. Come on, we can do it. Oh, how do you do this? Shit. Share me. What? I swear to God. Little air. Not bad. What do you reckon? Let's put some music on while we do this. I do want this card. If someone has this for trade and is in Australia, please let me know. Oh, this might be loud. Hang on, I'll fix it. Fuck, that's not bad for buying a copy. 16 hours ago. Where the fuck was I? Oh, no, that's chopped on the right side. It's like destroyed. All right, never mind. 5 months ago. Ain't nobody buying this one. This is a bid. 2 months ago. Ain't nobody buying this one. God, these cards are sexy, man. It's mint. It's mint. Is this one any good? 3 days ago. This is what? 5 days ago. It's just a bit banged up, you know. One down there, along the side, up there. That's a crease. Along that side. What's that there? There's just a bit going on, you know. I would trade like parts of my collection to get a card like this. Maybe I should go to a card show. I haven't been to a card show for a while. I kind of like want to go and like trade some stuff or sell stuff and buy something. Surely I could find a card like this at a card show. Surely. If I could find this as like an 8 or a 9, I would trade some stuff for it. Regionals are almost like card shows? Absolutely not. Totally different. Vibes are different, bro. The vibes are different. 17 days ago. It's too chopped along the bottom. Can't do it. Oh, man. Fuck, that's a really... Oh, it's a little bit up at the top. It's a clean copy for $500 half a year ago. Makes sense. That's how it goes. You bought this card for Nintendo Box for 600 AU 3 years ago. Really? That's pretty expensive even 3 years ago. Just sell some of your cards. Yeah, there's cards that I would sell and move to buy this. I just would go to a card show and try and find it and then like haggle a vendor down or something. You know how it is. Get the old camera out. Get the camera on my shoulder. Say it's for a trade up challenge. I'm doing it for charity. Never upload the video. Totally did that one time. I did actually do that. But we donated the money. I did donate the money. I don't know if you guys even remember that. The PSA 10 Reds Pikachu. Did end up donating that money. That was a very fun activity. That video is actually back in the works. How does your brain deal with having like clean fronts but minor play condition in the back and stuff like that? Me personally, I don't know. I just feel like I need to have it near me. I don't know why. I just need to have it near me as well. Unless I'm getting a really good price, I don't like buying binder copies that are clean on the front but chopped on the back. It has to be a really good price. It has to be almost like, I don't know, 80% discount off of a near mint or mint for me to justify buying a chopped card. And I've done it in the past. And then I've like straight up returned the cards. Like I did it with that Gardevoir, the ultra rare one from XY, from, what was it? Cruel Trader, I think, off the top of my head. I ended up just returning it on eBay, and then I found a better condition copy on Mercari. I think I bought that chopped copy for 160, and I was like, nah, this is too chopped even for a binder copy. And then I found a really good condition copy for 360. I'd rather just pay the extra 200 and get like a really clean copy. Did you guys post any other stuff in the Reacts channel? Oh, I did see this video from, I had this open. Short reel, a big topic lately. Rock Sandy wouldn't do me like that. Oh shit, this is a big dangerous topic. This can get cancelled.
Clip on my feed. Let's go ahead and fans girls doing at card shows. So I just saw this clip on my feed. Let's go ahead and roll it.
I probably bought the cushion for 25. Oh, okay, wait, actually. Oh shoot.
So the creator in this clip is PokeJenna. She does Pokemon content and not Pokemon content. Now, creators like her and a couple other names in the space, I'm not gonna name names, but these creators get sponsored to go to card shows and make content and vend. Now, a lot of people think that these OnlyFans creators LARPing with Pokemon cards or opening Pokemon cards is bad, and it is essentially advertising OnlyFans or that type of content to kids. Now, you can think what you want about that. I'm not here to get into that. My problem is when you have shows sponsoring these creators and paying them to vend at shows in front of kids. These are shows that are geared and marketed towards kids and towards families. Why do we have workers vending cards at a family card show? I'm dumbfounded on how this concept is even a thing. I don't want to hate on any creator, like you can make whatever content you want, and I don't want to hate on any card show organizers. I'm just trying to piece together why this is a thing. Like, I feel like there's a point where it goes too far in trying to attract people to come to your card show, because the audience that you are attracting by allowing this content to be made at your shows are the wrong people to attract. I've gotten the inside scoop from some of these creators. Again, not gonna name names. The Pokemon content is over quadrupling their revenue on their other content sites. The clip at the beginning is just one example. I mean, I can go on and on and on, but I just saw it on my feed and I just had to talk about it. Let me know what you guys think about OnlyFans creators being sponsored to go to card shows in the comments below. I am so curious. What are OnlyFans?
Oh, that's a big one. You got me, Roxandy. You fucking jump scared me. Well, okay. I need a lawyer. Because I don't like what I want to say. I don't know where it's going to land me. Well, I'm just going to say off the rip, I don't think it's right. I don't think the stream should be getting crossed. So I don't think it's healthy to have OnlyFans creators cross-pollinating with Pokemon card content. OnlyFans content can exist. Sex workers have existed from the very dawn of fucking time at this point, probably for many, many centuries at this stage. I don't think this is a conversation about whether you think sex workers are, whether sex working is right or wrong. It's always going to be there. I don't want to really get into that topic. But I think if you just isolate that component of it and then talk about just the cross-pollination with Pokemon, right? It's not healthy. And I don't think we should, I just don't think we should be enabling it, essentially. Like, I, as a father, would keep my son away from this fucking whole entire world because of stuff like this. Because between, like, 8 and fucking 18, fuck, even like 22, you are so vulnerable, right? And a lot of people say like it's the parents' responsibility to make sure that their kids aren't going on these websites or like getting exposed to this kind of content, but it's not that straightforward. Yes, it is, but that doesn't mean that it should be a fucking Wild West to have sex workers also moving around card shows. And like, I don't think this is an ultra fucking hot take, but I feel like a couple of more eyebrows would be being raised if we had male sex workers walking around these card shows and doing this kind of stuff. It would be a little bit different. But I think that's just like a general double standard that exists out in the world. So that's part of like a larger fucking, an even larger conversation kind of separate to it all. And so I feel like when you talk about, when you put it that way and like, and look at it through that lens, it becomes a bit more sus and like questionable than what it already is. And it already is quite questionable. Like I said, I just don't think we should be enabling it. And I think anybody enabling it, it's like a fucking massive red flag. Like, I don't even know who any of these people are. And so you don't know about it unless it comes on your feed. Yeah, he should have definitely fucking like gone in and spoken about it. This is pretty shit take. This card game came out in 99. Can we get over the it's for the kids BS line? We have adult money now, move on. Well, no, it's not like, it's not that it's for the kids. It's that there are a lot of kids in this space, so we should not cross-pollinate and just keep it fucking like PG. Or we just shouldn't keep it fucking MA15 plus or R18. I went to one of the cards shows organized by Beard Dad and Coop and was confused when an OnlyFans creator with 700k followers was advertised as being there. It wouldn't have been weird if she was simply there, but it was a point of advertising for the show. That's fucking weird, dude. Like, that's just straight up weird. At that point, you got to walk away from the fucking show as a parent. I'm sorry, you just have to. It's not right. I mean, like, if we were to talk about OnlyFans, like, they are platforms that literally suck simps dry. They are literally platforms that suck simps dry. I feel like as you get older, I don't know how much of this I can talk about on Twitch because of TOS, but I feel like as you get older, you view like adult content differently. I feel like for most people, we do anyway. Like, you start to view it a bit differently, and maybe that's like super unk, but I don't know. I just feel like there's like enough degeneracy in the world right now, and as you get older, you kind of want to be a force to minimize it, especially as your kids come into the world and start engaging in society. But yeah, I mean, like, in the same breath, if you're going to talk about this OnlyFans stuff, you've got to talk about the mass gambling shit as well, which is fucking, they're both dog shit and like horrible. Like their influence on the space and the potential influence and impact they might have on children's development and growth. It's just incel behavior if you think OnlyFans women should be shunned from society. Well, I don't think that it's incel behavior if they should be shunned from society. Like, I think objectively, I don't really have a lot wrong with sex workers, and they're always going to exist. But I think I take issue with the cross-pollination, again, into spaces that don't need to be exposed to sex workers. I mean, yes, exactly, because it is just advertisement for their OnlyFans accounts. A lot of it is. Like, I would say vast majority of it is. It's a fucking pipeline. Like, let's be serious. That's why I found it quite interesting when that original Paradigms video came out. I wasn't streaming at that point, but I was close to coming back, and I did want to talk about that.
OnlyFans girls.
I don't even remember clicking play. I did want to talk about that original Paradigms video, and a lot of people fucking got on his back. Like, Kira, Strawberry Pokemon, got on his back. Poker NE did, but that guy's fucking opinions are giga dog shit and always have been. And I felt that was fucking really weird. To cape for the sex workers doing what they were doing, being the cross pollination. I mean, like, because like OnlyFans and sex workers, it's just like a difference of ethics and morality, which is just always going to be fucking different people, and we're never going to really agree on it. It's, yeah. You're just always going to have people saying that they think sex workers that shouldn't be an industry, and then always going to have people saying that it should be an industry, and then you'll have people like me that are like, I'm stuck in the middle. Like, it's hard for me to like feel very strongly one way or the other about it. Like, I believe in the autonomy of, you know, free will. You should be able to do whatever you want, but there are lines to it. You know what I mean? And it comes back to, like I've been saying all stream, what you're given versus what you're taking. You could argue that sex workers give people a fucking, I don't know what you want to argue there. I mean, just think about it, right? I don't need to say it. But then you could also argue that it takes away from progressive development of society, because people that would ordinarily go and like pursue a full time, you know, like a loving, committed relationship and then growing a family, otherwise wouldn't, because they don't make the changes they need to improve their life to find a partner, or that, you know, they're just comfortable fucking, you know, getting their rocks off, whatever, via visiting sex workers. And then because of that, we then suffer by having our birth rates decline, and then, you know, we don't progress as a civilization, or we don't grow as a civilization or as a species. It's just like one example, it's like a one angle that you can, you know, look at the pros and cons of sex workers in isolation. But then, like I said, if you're talking about the fucking cross-pollination into card shows and shit, that's fucking crazy. And it just shouldn't be happening. Their criticism was that he was a LARPer calling other people LARPers, not justifying OnlyFans girls in the hobby. I don't really get it. Sorry? Shows that are geared and marketed for kids, yet you're all selling products to kids at scalping prices. Most Pokemon cards are hundreds, if not thousands. Yeah, I mean, but like, there's a lot of contradictions in the space, but I don't think because there are a lot of contradictions in the space that we can ignore this one really big, bad fucking topic. If anything, this is one thing that everybody can get around. Completely valid point. If you can find links in a couple clicks that's not separating your life dealing with the Pokemon community, people can do what they want, but if you claim for it to be separate, then let it truly be separate and not discoverable through your direct pages. Fair. I mean, the fact that this got so many likes, shares, and views is probably grounds for it being a pretty fair and reasonable, grounded take that a lot of people can fuck with. God forbid OnlyFans girls have hobbies or interests outside their jobs. It's such a gross take. There are OnlyFans creators who also have families and live lives outside of their jobs and have the decency and common sense to separate their work lives from spaces they engage in with other families. There are cosplayers who go to these events wearing less clothing and appearing more provocatively than even the girls who are in the industry, but somehow we're demonized more. I understand if someone is advertising their link at a table where they're vending to kids, but I travel almost every week into card shows and not once have I ever seen an OnlyFans creator advertising that to children. We're people just like anyone else trying to enjoy something we love and find community with these people who also love the same things. Oh. The cosplay girls do get demonized too. I never said you can't be into Pokemon. All I said was events shouldn't be sponsoring OnlyFans creators when they were also advertising to kids based. Why do you have sex workers at vending at a family card show? Your words. Not just sponsored people, you generalize sex workers as a whole, and now you're trying to backpedal saying it's just the sponsored vendors. You said a whole lot more than just that, so don't shrink your statements to fit a narrative. Sex workers are people, ostracizing them and trying to belittle them for having the same hobbies or interests as anyone else is giving very much Salem witch trials, and I'm not vibing with it, bro. I mean, but just in as much the same breath, like, this guy's allowed to have his take. Like, you don't have to fucking accommodate sex workers. Like, it is, you don't have to. And he's not fucking saying we should like blacklist them. He's saying, isn't this kind of weird? He's just starting a conversation. I think the reaction here is like a little bit too heated and personal, maybe. Do you know how many 10 to 17-year-old kids that can attend card shows also go on Instagram? Do you realize how easy it is for those kids to find her on IG with the QR code she obviously displays at these shows, series, and posts, and how easy it is for them to find her OnlyFans there? It's literally her first highlight. That's the issue. They may not be directly advertising the Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, I don't like this argument where it's like they're not directly advertising it. No, they are indirectly. They are directly advertising it. Indirect advertisement, as stupid as it's going to sound, is direct advertisement. Just because they're not holding up a sign and say, hey, by the way, here's my OnlyFans, doesn't mean that they're not directly advertising it. Like, we know what's going on. We can see it, and that's why people are calling it out. But it's not hard for a kid to figure it out and find it when the first step to getting there is being handed to them like that. If you still don't know, I don't know how to help you. Look at the comments on her post. Keep the degenerate activities far from where kids will be, and we'll have no problems. This is not how it works. This is cope. I'm sorry. 10-year-olds shouldn't be on Insta in the first place. It's 13 plus, but they are. I was on the internet when I was 8, going on websites. I shouldn't have been. I just found a way. Kids are finding ways now. Teen accounts on Insta have different... So you can't just put this on the parent. I'm sorry. It's just not how it works. This is cope. No, I don't like this. It's the parent's problem. Therefore, I'm going to keep fucking flirting with the rules. I'm not a fan of this. Interesting. And the gambling aspect of the card hobby advertised towards kids. Yeah, I mean, that's just like a separate conversation, which is just as bad. There's a reason why this is becoming a bigger and bigger conversation, and the noise is getting more and more unavoidable, and it's getting louder and louder. And I think it's fair for people to feel this way. Like I said, I would not take my son to a card show that had a OnlyFans creator headlining, and I would not want to be a part of a card show that had an OnlyFans creator headlining. Much to discuss. I would like to ponder more about this, but I think it's a. I mean, like I said, like I'll just say what I said again. I think it's becoming a louder and louder conversation because people are taking issue with it, and I think it's fair. Ponder over a tea and biscuit. I might ponder over a little bit of a snack. I'm quite hungry. I'm also getting like 1 million missed calls. Yeah, I don't think anybody has issues with OnlyFans creators attending card shows. You fucking can live your life. You can do whatever you want. It's not like you have to like fucking live in a cave if you do OnlyFans. I think, like I said, the big issue that a lot of people have, and just breathe if you're on the other side of this and you feel very strongly about sex workers' rights, etc. The issue that a lot of people have is that we just shouldn't be cross-pollinating and combining the two. There's no need to. Like, why do we have to do that? We don't have to do that. What do we have to gain versus what we are? What are we giving versus what we're taking? You know? If you have an issue with someone advertising a card show that's an OnlyFans worker, or if you don't have an issue with a convention advertising an OnlyFans creator at their event, but you do have issue with a convention advertising an event where it's like free titty show at the Pokemon card show, right? Like, they're the same thing. Because at the same time, like, both things essentially are advertising sex workers at a Pokemon card show. I'm not going to fucking sit here and act like a Puritan and say like, strippers are bad, you know, sex shows are bad. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to fucking do that. I'm not going to sit on this holy throne of like sex workers shouldn't exist. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think it makes you an incel to feel this way about cross-pollination of OnlyFans workers or creators in other niches. Video games, Pokemon, anime, fucking music. It's just like, wherever there's kids around, it's just not fucking worth it. The trade-off is nowhere near, like the trade-off is just not worth it. You're asking people to accommodate like a very small minority, which is sex workers, at the expense of a very large majority, which is children. That's not a good trade-off. That's a fucking terrible trade-off. That's a fucking horrible trade-off. It's really bad. So that's my take there. I mean, someone's got to think of the fucking children. Am I right? Am I right or am I wrong? This is a spicy video you shared, Rock. Ah, no, thank you, Rock, for watching. Thanks for tuning in, Rock, and thanks for sharing. I don't think people should shy away from these conversations, and I don't think, because it's, I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's hard for me. Like, I just, a little bit put on the spot, and I don't want to, like, obviously don't want to offend people, but at the same time, like, that's just how I feel. If you like me less, or you think less of me because that's how I feel, that's fine. I'm not going to change how I feel about sex workers and children just because you didn't like it. But I feel like most people are on the same page with these thoughts. JLUV for president. Thank you, Kaigas. Someone's going to have to do the job. Out of context, that sentence is crazy. I've said worse in context. But I really hope people don't take that one out of context and fuck my shit up for it. Okay. That is all for this afternoon. I feel pretty good after a fun little Monday stream for me in Australia and Sunday for you guys over in the States. That was a good time. Probably could have reacted to a little bit more than we did, but we kind of got a little bit held up on Jake's video, and maybe those videos, we probably got to watch them at 2x speed. But I like it. If you want to see a video like that, if you want me to cover a video through the week, post it in the Discord. That's the whole point. We got some good stuff out of today's stream. It'll be fun to see people react to the shorts and the YouTube, the JLUV apps for it. But that is all for today. Thank you for the follow, Evan West and Sentient Ski a few minutes before that. Thank you everybody for tuning in. You can find me everywhere: Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok. I don't have an OnlyFans. Sorry, but would you hate me if I did? Unless, and the VODs channel for anybody who watches VODs. Make sure you go and subscribe. Trying to get that to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Pyro, it was good to have you. We had a bunch of resubs and new subbers. Thank you guys so much for your support. Patty G, Hold My Drink, I Gotcha, Crimson, A Little Pig Oink, Venom Inc., Benny Vader, Epix, Hernando. Thank you guys for the support. I appreciate it. Blank Turk, have a great one. Kaigas, as always, thanks for tuning in. It's always good to have you. You know I love your company. Alola Cards, hello. I did see you jump in, and goodbye. Have a great evening. Light, there's two people with the username Light in this. See, look. Light6685 and Light8430. What the fuck's going on there, guys? Why have we got two accounts? And then Piggy and fucking A Little Pig Oink. What the hell's going on, man? Fucking crazy. What's going on? Faith and Science, have a good one, King. You're the LARPer. Okay, bet. Hey, yo! JLUV, been watching you for a while. That was my video. That's fucking crazy. No, I don't think, I mean, I don't know if you saw the full fucking react to it. I didn't think it was that controversial. I think no less of you. I think I'm actually quite, no, that's fine. Like, honestly, respect. And you should be quite proud. If anything, you should have just fucking doubled down and like really gone the full 9 yards and owned it. Because it's a very fucking important conversation to have. So don't shy away from like really talking about how you feel. You should just fucking do it, bro. And if people want to get mad at you, and there were people getting mad at you, that's fine. But if that's something that you feel strongly about, which it clearly is, talk about it. That doesn't make you, that makes you more of a person, not less. So I'm glad that that fucking went viral and it started a bit of a conversation for people. I mean, it started up for us here, so thank you. Respect, bro. I'm not going to just milk it over and over, you know, time to let it speak for itself type shit. Exactly, type shit, bro. Thanks for coming down, Evan. I appreciate that. And again, good shit. Apples, have a good one, King. As always, love ya. ZD Tan. Venomink, have a good one. Light6685, have a good one. Roxanne, thank you for sharing the vid. Thanks for hanging out on the stream today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Any recommendations, feedback, anything, hit me up. Post it in the Discord. I will launch the competitions, the giveaways this week. All right, guys. I really got to head out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next stream. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.